Well, sincere condolences to all of the Bulldog family. Sam, and as the announcer here at Oxford United mentioned, George Baldock's brother James, who still works here as the club doctor. George Baldock remembered in the best possible fashion, and I do believe that there is a minute's applause planned in the second minute here at the Kazam Stadium from the supporters to further show their love and appreciation for what George did whilst wearing the yellow shirt of Oxford. And Oxford will be wearing their traditional yellow shirts and socks and the dark blue shorts. West Brom in their traditional first choice colours of the dark blue and white stripes, white shorts and socks, and I'm delighted to report that this season Albion's numbers are much easier to read on the back of the shirts. There is a definite blank white panel on the back there, Neil Redfern, so you and I are not going to struggle picking out who's who.
Yeah, brilliant. such a classic strip as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? Them dark blue broad stripes, if you like.
Yeah, it's a very traditional kit that West Brom wear. We are underway on Talksport 2 as another game day gets underway, and straight away Karlan Grant is sent away down the left-hand side of the area. Early attack from West Brom as they attack away to our right towards the east stand, but then there's a pull on the shirt of Peter Kioso, the Oxford right back. So West Brom are defending the open end. For those that don't know the Kazam, there's only 3 sides to this stadium. The West Stand has never been built, never will be built, because there are plans for Oxford United to move to a new stadium in the not too distant future in the Kidlington area of the city. And so we're sat in the south stand, so the empty stand is away to our left hand side. To our right, the east stand, where the most vocal Oxford fans are. The West Brom fans are opposite our commentary position in the north stand, and a few of them shielding their eyes from the sun because half of the pitch is bathed in lovely autumn sunshine here in Oxfordshire. So we're a minute into the game, and Torbjorn Hegem, the left back for Albion, sends it back via Carl Bartley to the goalkeeper Alex Palmer. Good clearance from Palmer down the left hand side. Elliot Moore back in the Oxford side today, tries to keep it in play on the far side of the field, can't quite do so. So it is a throw in to West Bromwich Albion, which Torbjorn Hegem is going to take out on that left hand side. Joining July from Norwegian football, made his Norwegian debut in the recent international break alongside the likes of Erling Haaland. Not
really
too shabby.
These early stages, Dance, both sides looking to go back to front early. You know, it's both sides have got really technically gifted head coaches, if you like, that like to get the ball down and play, but both sides been very direct. There's a lot at stake in this game.
Sikiri Dembele has won a throw, although Darnell Furlong thought that Dembele had the last touch. Harris on the halfway line, Oxford's top scorer, runs into the challenge of Mowat, who will pick it up again just ahead of the centre circle for West Brom, drives into the centre of the Oxford half and works it out left for Karlan Grant, level with the edge of the area. Hegem on the overlap, but Karlan Grant has held on to it, now gives it to Hegem, who thinks about delivering across with his weaker right foot. It's sent back into midfield for Alex Mowat, and then Dean Garner gets his first involvement of the game in the inside left channel. Neat turn, strides infield up towards the left hand corner of the box, tries to play a 1-2 with Madger, might come back from Madger at the edge of the area, but that was well protected by Ben Nelson at the back for Oxford. Dembele trying to snake his way towards the halfway line, gets it half clear, and then in slides Mowat, but the ball ricochets out to the left wing for Oxford, and Harris brings it over halfway and will lay it off to Kieran Brown, the Oxford left back with the very evident man bun. And over to the right hand side it goes, and Peter Kioso. So Neil Redfern, former Leeds United and Barnsley man, alongside me, still working at Bradford these days. And one of your old lads is out there, Alex Mowat, who was in the Leeds Academy when you were coaching there, Redders.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Mowat, he was one of quite a few that came through at the same time, a really strong cohort of players, you know, Calvin Phillips, Alex Mowat, Charlie Taylor, Sam Byram, to name a few. But he's really made a good account of his career so far. I mean, he's been excellent for West Brom this season, and you know, they've started well, West Brom, in this game so far.
Very direct and uncompromising. Darnell Furlong, who's just signed an extension to his contract at West Brom, well over 200 appearances, and he's going to be a baggy until at least 2027. And the free kick taken by West Brom inside their own half. We played 3.5 minutes, nearly 4 minutes on Talksport 2 in our first game of the day. On game day exclusive, Fulham Aston Villa to come at 3 o'clock with Adam Bridge and Perry Groves at the Cottage. But here come West Brom. It's in the centre circle with the aforementioned Alex Mowat. Tries to drive it out to the left hand side for Grant, but the pass was intercepted, and Kioso brings it away for Oxford, still inside his own half, then floats it down the right channel, but it's going to dribble out of play on the far side for a throw. It's West Brom's first ever competitive game at the Kazam. They've been here for pre-season friendlies, but never here for a competitive fixture. Their last competitive fixture in Oxford was at the old Manor Ground, not too far from here, with the slope and everything. So if it was raining, you'd defend the shallow end, right, Redders?
Yeah, I played there, mate, a few times. But yeah, I mean, this has been a really interesting start of this game. It's almost like Oxford have preempted this start from West Brom. They've got themselves into a little bit of a mid-block. You know, there's a yellow wall across the pitch, if you like, of shirts that are stopping West Brom playing forward, and you know they've limited them to a few efforts in and around that final third. But they're attacking
Tyler
now.
Goodrum, the diminutive Oxford midfielder, playing out on the right hand side, trying to wriggle away from Hegem. Volks with a first time cross, swings it deep to the far post, goes beyond Furlong, kept in play on this near side by Dembele. Thinks about a cross on his right, left hand corner of the penalty area, lays it off to Ilmizuni. Back for Kieran Brown, and further back towards the halfway line where Nelson and Moore will combine passes. Very patient from Oxford. Now they've switched it out to the right again. Goodrum with a cross into the box, looking for Harris, but it's a comfortable claim for West Brom keeper Alex Palmer. 0-0, 5 gone.
Yeah, good phase of play there from Oxford. Very bright in possession. Not frightened to come back out and be patient. Both sides have shown patience in these early changes.
Josh Madger, top scorer in the Championship, although he hasn't scored in his last couple. Finds Tom Fellows out on the right hand side, running at Kieran Brown, gets to the byline, dinks across him, but that's a comfortable claim this time for the other goalkeeper in the shape of Jamie Cumming, away to our right in the Oxford goal. 0-0.
Yeah, brilliant. That's the first time we've seen Tom Fellows in this game. Really confident run down that right hand side. He's got great feet and awareness, looking to clip that ball across the box, but Jamie Cumming took it really well.
First goal in the lunchtime games comes at the Wham Stadium. Accrington Stanley 1, Barrow 0. As here's Mark Harris, who gets in behind Semi Ajayi into the area, angles tight, shot blocked by Palmer and goes behind for a corner, and the referee has a couple of Albion players saying there was a shove in my back, says Semi Ajayi. Nothing doing, says Lee Doughty. Oxford have a corner, 0-0.
Yeah, that were all Mark Harris's own work, to be honest with you. Really strong in that duel, got his body in the way, drove into the box, and he's unlucky. Drives that ball at the goal, but it's a good save from Alex Palmer, stood up big. But it is a corner, and the sun's going to be in Palmer's eyes, because the corner's just down to our left hand side where the south stand meets that open end. And it's going to be a right-footed delivery for Oxford, sent in by Volks deep to the far post, and it drops at the far post for Elliot Moore, the captain, but it almost came off his toe end and dribbled through for the West Brom keeper to hold on to it. Yeah, that was a better chance than what we thought. It really shocked him when it dropped to his feet, to be honest with you, Elliot Moore. It's a great ball in, curling away from the defenders. Keeper missed it, and I don't think he was ready for it all there, Elliot Moore. That was an opportunity, to be fair. Oxford 0, West Brom 0 on Talksport 2. 7 gone. Here's Darnell Furlong striding through to the edge of the area and tries a speculative effort on his right from 25 yards out. He did score a few last season, 5 in all, coming up from right back. This time that was a good 5 yards wide of Cummings' right hand post. 0-0. Incidentally, it's Sean Wally that's given Accrington Stanley the lead at home to Barrow in League 2. Lost 5 of their last 6, Barrow, while Stanley back-to-back league wins after a difficult start to the campaign in the post-John Coleman era. But 0-0 here. Short goal kick taken by Ben Nelson and Cumming, all in green. The Oxford keeper will drive it downfield, again trying to get it in behind Semi Ajayi, and then there's a push on Mark Harris just over the halfway line by Racic, and it'll be a free kick to Oxford United as Manchester United's women go 1-0 up at Brighton and Hove Albion in the WSL. Grace Clinton for Manchester United in that game. Both 1 point off the top, both those sides in the WSL. At the start of today, Manchester City leading the way. 4 straight wins for United going into this, and Grace Clinton's given them an early advantage down
on the Sussex Downs. 8 minutes gone. Oxford 0, West Brom 0 in the Championship. Over on Talksport, it's the London derby between Spurs and West Ham. No goals there either. You've got the Talksport app downloaded. You can swipe so easily between our two commentaries today, so you can keep up to date with whatever you desire. I'll keep you updated on anything that happens at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Just looking at Oxford's setup, Dance, and the two wide players stay really high. I know it's a 4-1-4-1 formation, if you like, but both Goodrum and Dembele stay really high up the pitch, trying to press that back line back for West Brom.
They get the ball forward. Dembele wins it just inside the Albion half, swings it out to Goodrum, right hand corner of the area, thought about a cross, lays it back to Dembele at the edge of the area, twisting and turning and looking for an option, dinks it back out to Goodrum on the right hand side. Kyoso also out there in support, and Kyoso then passed it straight out of play as suddenly Goodrum made a sharp movement to his right, and the ball went where the sharp movement came from. Throw into Albion, 0-0.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a misunderstanding there. The ball was on actually inside the fullback, but he didn't read it well. Both sides have made a confident start to this game, both comfortable in different shapes. Obviously West Brom in that 4-2-3-1 shape, and Oxford in that 4-1-4-1 formation. So definitely a mid-block, and it's forcing West Brom to try and play through it, and if they can pinch it, then they break off the back of it.
Mowat for West Brom out to the left hand side. Dean Garner's pulled away to that left hand side. Grant on the left wing, running at Kyoso, gets past Kyoso into the area, pulls it back, and a vital foot in from Elliot Moore, hooked away by Rodriguez for Oxford, and Volks showed a bit too much strength in trying to win that back from Mowat, and West Brom get a free kick out on the left hand side. 10 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant play from Grant. We've seen him a couple of times now, really strong in his running. He's running at the full-back, dropping his shoulder inside and outside, and he works an angle, and he's unlucky with his ball across the box. It's well defended in the end, but he's a real threat for West Brom.
Free kick to the Baggies, almost at the midway point of the half, but quite a way out to the left of centre. It's probably only about 7 or 8 yards in from the far left-hand touchline. Alex Mowat to take it. He's been brilliant on set pieces this season, scored some beauties from free kicks. This one's not going to be goal bound. He's going to toss this into the far post, looking for Josh Madger, who wanted to volley it goalwards, but Kyoso had other ideas and headed it clear. Racic in the Albion midfield, on loan from Sassuolo for the season, gives it back to Tom Fellows, who's back on the halfway line, the Albion Academy youngster. Palmer, the keeper, finds Mowat once again just shy of the halfway line. Dean Garner now picks it up as Luton take the lead against Watford in that grudge game at Kenilworth Road. Jordan Clark gets the early goal for the Hatters at Kenilworth Road. Now in the centre circle, here comes Ilmazuni. Ilmazuni just lays it back to Will Volks in the end. Ilmazuni gets it back. Square ball across to Kieran Brown. Dembele always willing to receive it on this near left-hand touchline, but he's got Darnell Furlong and Tom Fellows for company, so he rolls it back into his own half for Elliot Moore. Now out to the right hand side, and Tyler Goodrum playing a 1-2 with Kyoso. Quite patient, yeah, from Oxford United.
I think both sides have been a bit like that, to be fair, Dance. I just think from West Brom's point of view, it's playing into their hands as the away side. I mean, you're looking for a bit of tempo and a little bit of aggression and front foot mentality from Oxford. It's not really shown that. They've got themselves in that mid-block. They've broken. When they've broke, they've tried to counter-attack at times. But West Brom can feel quite pleased with themselves the way this game's going so far.
West Brom won 5 of their first 6 against QPR, Stoke, Swansea, Portsmouth and Plymouth, and they got a draw with Leeds in that time as well, but struggled to win since then. 5 clean sheets as well in the Championship, West Bromwich Albion. Only Sheffield United have more. They were beaten last night live on Talksport 2 at Leeds United. Ball's back on halfway. Oxford United in possession. We've played 13 minutes on Talksport 2. Here is El Mizuni. Lays it back to Ben Nelson. Now the Oxford captain Elliot Moore lets the ball run across his body. Feeds it out to Goodrum on the halfway line, right hand side. Neat little drop of the shoulder just to bamboozle Karlan Grant for a minute. Schemes his way down that far right hand side in front of the West Bromwich Albion fans, but then checks his run and the ball's gone back into the Oxford half of the field. Now it's with Ben Nelson, just under pressure from Madger, but turned away in time and got the ball back to Jamie Cumming, the goalkeeper. Ball up to halfway, just evades Kioso, but Dean Garner can't profit from it, and Will Vaulks tidying up as he so often does in front of that back four, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, he's excellent in that role, to be fair, Will Vaulks. He just reads the game so well, sits in front, cuts off the passing line into the strikers, and if the ball just comes in there and it's a little bit loose, he's on it like a shot.
Free transfer from Sheffield Wednesday. Now the ball's over the top looking for Harris, who's offside. He did manage to toe in the ball past Alex Palmer, doesn't try and put the ball in the net, but the offside flag went up. As again he was trying to get in behind Semi Ajayi. And we should mention Semi Ajayi. He's had a bit of a nightmare week. He went to play for Nigeria in a couple of AFCON qualifiers against Libya. They played the first game, and then the Libyans wouldn't let him take off from the airport. They ended up sleeping in the departure lounge and abandoned thoughts of playing the rematch against Libya. He only got a minute on the pitch as well, did Semi.
That's scandalous. That is scandalous.
But he's made it back in time and he starts today. Cardiff City 1, Plymouth Argyle 0 in the Championship. Big goal for Cardiff, winning a draw their last two. Omar Rees, I think he wants that job permanently. They've started the day bottom of the table, but Alex Robertson has given them the lead at the Cardiff City Stadium against Plymouth, who are win-loss in their last 5. So in that sequence they're due an L.
Yeah, I mean it'd be a good result if they can pull it off, but
I'll be there on Tuesday night reporting for Talksport when Cardiff play Portsmouth, and Portsmouth of course have had a rotten start to the season, desperate for that first win under John Massinio, and they play QPR today, 2 of the bottom 3 meeting at 3 o'clock at Loftus Road. Lots of EFL action today, and we'll keep you updated here on Talksport 2. Adam Bridge will be commentating on Fulham Villa at 3, but he'll give you score updates from around the country as that game progresses. Now Oxford coming forward at 0-0 with Sekili Dembele, left-hand corner of the area, cuts in field, gets the ball on his right, tried to drive, but it was well blocked at source by Tom Fellows. I saw a lot of Sekili Dembele at Birmingham last season after he moved from Peterborough, and he is a box of tricks.
He's an handful. I mean, he's been the best outlet for Oxford so far in this game. You know, every time he gets it, there's a bit of expectation from the crowd. He's got pace. He's come inside a lot. I'd like to see him go down the line.
Well, he's naturally right-footed, so they're playing inverted, and one inverted winger. I think Goodrum's more of a natural right-footer, but with no Kyle Edwards in the team, they've switched Goodrum to the right and Dembele's come left. Yeah,
I think that's obviously a problem for him, but you know, I think both him and Mark Harris, I think Mark Harris has proved a right handful so far. I mean, he's got his body in and shoved and pushed. He's got a little bit of pace, got in front of goal a couple of times. They're the main 2 threats at this moment for Oxford.
He was Player of the Month in August, Mark Harris, with 4 goals in his first 4 Championship matches. Hasn't scored since. He might get the ball here on the left-hand side. He does indeed from Dembele. Down the left wing, Mark Harris running to level with the edge of the area. Passes infield to Dembele. Bit of twinkle toes from Dembele. Tried to get an early shot away, blocked by Furlong, and the ball ricochets through to Alex Palmer. And Alex Mowat has stayed down. I think it's been caught off the ball. Harris is also sitting on his backside just outside the area, just tending to a twisted sock, I think. And in the Talksport commentary, Tottenham 0, West Ham United 1. Mohamed Kudus has put West Ham ahead of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's live on Talksport right now with Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce. Mark Harris is just getting a bit of attention. Well, it's not a twisted sock, I was being slightly facetious there. Something went on in that build-up of play. Mowat's back on his feet. So just to update you what's going on around the country, as I've mentioned, West Ham ahead at Tottenham live on Talksport. Cardiff 1 up on Plymouth in the Championship. Luton 1 up on Watford in the Championship. Accrington Stanley leading Barrow in League 2. Manchester City women 1 up at Brighton and Hove Albion in the WSL. All the other lunchtime games are goalless. That's Preston Coventry, Reading Crawley and Wycombe Peterborough, the other games that are taking place right now across the country in our first game back from the international break. Carlos Corberán doing a bit of impromptu coaching down there. Redders, you're watching that, aren't you?
I was just watching him, I mean, he's so animated. He's great value to watch from his technical area. He's just telling Alex Mowatt. You could even see from the gestures he was making about getting too close to his man at times to open his body up and try and get the play out the other side.
I swear he's got drawing pins in his trainers. Carlos Corberán, he's just never still.
No.
Always on the move. Des Buckingham slightly less demonstrative. Harris is back on this near touch. He's going to be okay to come back on, Oxford's top scorer, and play restarts with a drop ball for Alex Palmer, the West Brom keeper. We played 19 minutes on Talksport 2, game day exclusive, starting at the Kazam Stadium. We'll be off to Craven Cottage, where Faye Carruthers is hosting today, and we'll get a half-time preview of what's to come at 3 o'clock between Fulham and Aston Villa. Perry Groves alongside Adam Bridge this afternoon in West London. They're probably walking through Bishop's Park now.
Beautiful.
To head for the cottage.
Hand in hand.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll ask that question.
Just looking at the stats here, though, Dance, in this game, 54% possession, Oxford. I thought it'd be a bit less than that because West Brom, for me, have started quite well. 3 shots, 2 on target. Oxford 1 shot, none on target. But it's been a really tight game.
Very tight so far. Bartley heads clear for West Brom, up to the halfway line. Volks tries to get his foot in it. The ball drops inside the Albion half, and Mowatt was fouled. So West Brom get a free kick. Goal in League One. Reading lead Crawley by a 0-0. Amadou Mbenge for the Royals. No clean sheet in 5 for Reading, who start the day in 17th. Crawley have gone off a cliff. No win in 10. Rob Elliott now in charge.
Yeah, new gaffer as well.
At Crawley. But they find themselves behind at the Select Car Leasing Stadium. Free kick to West Brom, taken quickly, roll back to Ajayi on halfway. Now Furlong picks it up right hand side, tries to get beyond Dembele. Fellows takes over, then Rakic runs into Ilmizuni. Ball turned around the corner by Mowatt. Madja made a run into the area, but Ben Nelson drives it downfield straight to the feet of Uroš Rakic, and he'll slide it out to Fellows on the right wing. Madja goes down under pressure from Ben Nelson, and the referee lead out. He thought about it and then gave West Brom a free kick, 0-0.
Yeah, that's a free kick in a dangerous position as well. I think Alex Mowatt will be all over this one. They just work so hard, Oxford. You can see the work ethic for one another, closing down and tracking runners. But just a little bit overzealous there in that tackle. Gives West Brom a free kick to the right. Looks like it's Mowatt that's going to curl it in with his left foot.
Yeah, it's not quite at the right hand corner of the penalty area, at the east stand end away to our right, but it's not that far away, probably about 5 or 6 yards away from that corner point of the area. So there's a 2-man Oxford wall standing just inside the corner of the penalty area. That near post looks rather unguarded by Jamie Cumming. Mowatt might fancy a crack at that. Ajayi's gone deep to the far post beyond all the Oxford defenders who are holding their line just inside the 18-yard line. Mowatt addresses the ball, floats it to the far post, headed out by Volks, out to the edge of the area. Karlan Grant tried to drive it in. Oxford win it back. Chance for a counter-attack if Dembele can play the right ball. Showed too much of that as he passed infield to El Mizuni, and West Brom win it back. Diangana slides it into Karlan Grant. Grant sees Hegger making a run down the left-hand side of the area, across the face of goal, and it's deflected behind by Elliot Moore for a West Bromwich Albion corner away to our right. 0-0, midway through the first half.
Great bit of movement there from Josh Madja, just to take his marker away and open up the space for the shot at goal. So great pass to find him, spot him, but much better from West Brom.
Corner kick where the north stand meets the east stand. There are gaps between all 4 stands, and Alex Mowatt going to take it right footed, in swinger right under the crossbar to the far post, brought down by Madja, floats it back across the face of goal and headed over. Another corner given, though it was Ben Nelson who headed it over his own crossbar, and there were players lurking like Darnell Furlong trying to get a touch there. Corner Albion, 0-0.
Yeah, great chance for Josh Madja. It's a ball right to the back stick. Everybody misses it, and his first touch is just a little bit big. It bounces up and gives the yellow shirts a chance to get a block in, but
another corner in the southeast corner, flick towards goal and over the top. This time it was Hegham who got in at the near post, the left back, unmarked, running across the line Nobody in Oxford yellow went with him. Got the flick header on near post, and it went about half a yard over Cummings' crossbar. Oxford get a goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, I think that's all about the delivery as well. Great ball in from Alex Mowatt, flat and fast into that near post. Does well Egham to get across his marker.
You taught him that, right?
Taught him everything, mate. Sorry about that.
Cardiff 2, Plymouth 0 in the Championship. Ruben Colwill puts the Bluebirds further clear of the Cardiff City Stadium in one of the other lunchtime games today. Throw to Oxford United, unbeaten in 5 home games, but they've made the most clearances per game in the Championship, averaging around about 26-27 clearances per match, so that tends to suggest that defensively they can get put under pressure. But certainly here at the Kazam, they've yet to taste defeat since that dramatic day, winning promotion in the playoff final against much fancied Bolton Wanderers on the day.
I tell you what's impressed me about them though in these early stages, Dan, is that, you know, when it's on to play, they've played, but if it's got to go back to front, they're not frightened to do it.
They'll mix it up, yeah.
Yeah, and in Mark Harris, I think we've got a real willing runner up front.
Well, played for Wales in the week in the Nations League, Mark Harris. It just goes to show the talent within the leagues that England and Wales have both picked players from League One to play international football in the week. Jay Stansfield at Birmingham is playing for the under-21s for England in the week. Harris playing full internationals for Wales. And the other thing to note, the ball's gone out for a throw to Oxford on this near side. This is not a wildly different Oxford squad to the one that won promotion. Des Buckingham's given quite a lot of the players who got them up the opportunity to prove themselves at this level, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, and I think that's the right thing to do. I mean, in a lot of their actions in this game so far, there's a lot of familiarity amongst the players. You know, they do press well, they get in the mid-block really well, they get behind the ball, they balance and cover. You can see they've got great shape, offer good width. You know, there's a real game, a great game plan to this for Oxford.
Will Volk's very important pivot though, in between defence and midfield and attack. And he just tidies the ball up and gets it back into the Oxford half of the field where his captain Elliot Moore has possession. Volks calmly knocks it back to Kioso, the right back. Now Tyler Goodrum, just shy of the halfway line, happy to keep possession inside their own half. Now it goes back to Jamie Cumming. West Brom press a little higher up the field. Going to hurry Oxford into getting the ball downfield, but it's hit long by Nelson, looking for Harris again to cause problems with Ajayi. Dembele brings the ball in field, little back heel, gets Goodrum in. Now Harris just treads on the ball slightly, still picks it up, goes for goal from 25 yards out. It's well wide, smacks into the scoreboard behind the goal at that open end away to our left. But that's a bit better from Oxford, a bit more direct, and it led to a shot off target. 0-0, goal kick West Brom.
Yeah, I mean the finish is not great from Mark Harris. It's a little bit high and wide, but the build up towards it, fantastic. Players exchanging places and passes, a little bit of a back heel to get Harris on the ball. His touch just lets him down, just drops behind him slightly, and you know it makes it a real difficult shot to make, but like you say, a lot better from Oxford.
Racic in the centre circle for the Baggies, finds Madger just over the halfway line. Now Furlong will bring it forward. Fellows on his outside. Fellows will receive it now, midway point of the half. Knocks it back to Racic and further back to halfway. And Ajayi across for his centre half partner Kyle Bartley in the centre circle. Plays the ball into the feet of Grady Diangana. Mowat was making a lovely run through the middle. Reverse pass, couldn't find him. But it's still with West Brom. Furlong out to Fellows on the right wing position. Comes in on his left foot to about 25 yards out, almost shaping to shoot for a moment, and then gives it back to Grady Diangana. Diangana runs into Dembele. Volley cleared by El Mizuni. Anywhere will do for Oxford. Headed back towards the Oxford penalty area by Ajayi. Racic goes up for a 50-50 ball with Harris. Drops in the centre circle for Carl Bartley. He nods it on, and it's all very scrappy, and then Dembele gets the better of Furlong and loses out to Racic. Uros Racic, good ball infield. Karlan Grant, 30 yards out, tries to drive and scores a beauty. What a hit from Karlan Grant. Low daisy cutter as West Brom won the ball back high at the pitch. Tucks infield to Karlan Grant and he drilled it low, hard and true. Past Cummings' right hand and into the bottom corner, and the Baggies break the deadlock. just shy of the half-hour mark at the Kazam. Oxford 0, West Brom 1.
Well, that's unbelievable strike from Callum Grant. It's all about the technique. Gets his balance right, no backlift, strikes through the ball so cleanly, and it's almost like a daisy cutter right into the corner and clips off the post and past Jamie Cohen, giving him absolutely no chance. A little bit of controversy leading up to the goal, a couple of challenges which could have been deemed as fouls. Oxford feeling a little bit aggrieved, but to be fair to West Brom, it's probably what they've deserved. They have been the better of the two sides in front of goal.
Carlan Grant's second championship goal of the season, also netted against Stoke earlier in the campaign. He was on loan at Cardiff last season, but back into the fold under Carlos Corberán, and he's being rewarded with appearances, and now he's getting goals. So Oxford United 0, West Bromwich Albion 1 on Talksport 2 as we approach the half-hour mark. And a couple of quick goals in League One, because Reading have been pegged back by Crawley. That's 1-1 of the Select Car Leasing. Harry Forster with the equaliser for Crawley Town.
I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of an issue now for Oxford, because it's been quite slow as a game. There's not been much tempo to it. But now West Brom have got the noses in front. They're going to have to try and raise the game a little bit here, Oxford, if they can.
Ball's back with Jamie Cumming. Talksport, by the way, supports the EFL's Together Against Racism campaign that is running at the moment. This is encouraging players, managers and fans, both in the stands and at home, to use their voice to drive change. For more, head to EFL.com. Ian Danter and Neil Redfern with you at Kazam Stadium. 30 minutes played. West Brom ahead. But Kioso trying to drive forward for Oxford down the right-hand side and forces Bartley to turn it behind for an Oxford corner at the open end away to our left. 1-0 to West Brom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they've been waiting for Oxford, to be honest with you. They've raised the tempo a little bit there. They've gone a little bit quicker. A little bit of give and go in behind for Kioso. Does ever so well, puts his man under pressure and forces the corner, but so much brighter in the movement and the way they exchange passes there, Oxford.
Volks has gone across to take the corner in front of the West Brom fans in that north stand. Be a right-footed out-swinger. Moore and Nelson, the two centre-halves, are being watched by Albion defenders just beyond the penalty spot. In it comes up, goes Kieran Brown and heads over the crossbar. Got up at the near post for Oxford, but the header was just over Alex Palmer's crossbar, and West Brom have a goal kick, and they are still 1-0 up here, the Baggies.
Yeah, good response from Oxford from the initial break to win the corner. Great ball in, absolutely fantastic delivery, and he's really unlucky there. He's got to try and get above it if he can and get the header on target, but good response from Oxford.
Bartley for West Brom into Josh Matthews, come very deep to pick up possession inside his own half. Now Racic looks for Darnell Furlong, who's motored into the Oxford half. Dean Garner out to the right wing for Fellows. Fellows has got Furlong making an underlap. Early cross into the penalty box. Couldn't find a blue and white striped shirt, so Oxford try and get it clear with Kieran Brown, and he's want to throw off Racic. And Oxford will try and clear their lines, but West Brom have the advantage here at the Kazam Stadium, and it's the Albion fans you can hear opposite our commentary position over in the north stand making their voices heard. And they do have the third best possession stats so far in the Championship, West Brom. Only Leeds and Swansea are better at keeping hold of the ball, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, and that's shown in this game today. I mean, they've been really measured and patient in possession. They've tried to slow the tempo down, really. You know, it's not helped Oxford. You know, they need to try and get that tempo up if they can to get back in this game, but they've looked really measured, West Brom.
Hegham gets the better of Goodrum on halfway. Madger slides the ball out to Grant, who gives it back to Josh Madger moving in field, but good defending from Ben Nelson, read the danger and cut across and won the ball back for Oxford United. Goodrum now trying to release Harris, who's going to be offside. The assistant was waiting for him to make tracks down the right flank and raise the flag, and West Brom get a free kick. 1-0 up they are.
Yeah, he was looking at the linesman who was running. He knew he'd timed it wrong, but you know, that's the sort of thing that Oxford have got to do. They've got to try and make these runs down the side of the defenders, make it difficult for them. You know, it's been a handful already, Mark Harris.
Edge of the area, Josh Madger. There's a push on Dean Garner, and suddenly West Brom have got a free kick in Alex Mowat territory, just outside the area, admittedly to the left of centre, but I think you'll still fancy a cracking goal here, Alex Mowat. West Brom 1-0 up.
Yeah, that's a really rash challenge from Elliot Moore. I mean, he's nowhere near the ball. He just rags him to the floor, Dean Garner. Referee's got to give that. I mean, it's right in front of him, but it's a really dangerous place to give a free kick away.
See what West Brom can make of it here. The Oxford wall is taking shape.
It's actually a nice distance from the wall, that, and to get it up and down over the wall.
It looks more than 10 yards to me, I must say, although I don't have my measuring tape with me handy, but
I don't think they'll stop and let you go and measure it, mate.
No, I don't think so. No, I'm a bit busy. I'm a bit occupied. I've got to keep you in check, mainly. So, Karlan Grant standing over the free kick as well. It does favour the right-footed strike here, although Mowat takes a lot of the set pieces for West Brom. It is Grant to go for goal, and he hits the wall. I think he hit Kioso and went straight out of play for a throw-in, which Grant will take.
Yeah, good wall, to be fair. All jumped at the right time. Weren't really a decent free kick from Grant. I'd be disappointed with that. He's better than that, to be honest with you. If we go back to his strike for the goal, fantastic.
Yes, it's Karlan Grant's goal that separates the sides here. If you're just tuning into Game Day exclusive on Talksport 2 between Oxford United and West Bromwich Albion. Tom Fellows for the visitors. Knocks it back to Semi Ajayi. Mowat with a little pirouette, trying to get away Bergkamp style from a couple of challenges. Felt he was caught and went down. The boos around us will tell you that Oxford fans weren't impressed with this histrionics, and he is back on his feet fairly swiftly. And the ball sent through to the edge of the area, and Kieran Brown will chest it back to his goalkeeper. 10 minutes to half time here. Oxford 0, West Brom 1. Over on Talksport, Dejan Kulusevski has equalised for Spurs against West Ham United. That's 1-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce, your commentary team there. If you've got the Talksport app downloaded for your phone, you can easily swipe left and right between the Talksport and Talksport 2 commentaries that are running concurrently at the moment.
Oh, great movement.
Ball over the top from Kioso, looking to get Rodriguez in behind.
Yeah, great little bit of movement from Rodriguez there. Just fetched his man in short and spun him behind. Great spot as well to find him. Unlucky.
But here come the visitors. It's Furlong for West Brom. Out to Fellows again on the right wing, faced up by Kieran Brown, level with the edge of the area. Now drives for the byline. Right-footed ball, good delivery, headed up in the end, not too convincingly by Moore. Headed out further cleared by Volks, and then there's a push on Rodriguez, and the ironic cheers are for the fact that the referee gave that Oxford United's way. I think the locals believe that Lee Doughty is, well, the opposite of a homer.
Wrong.
He's very much an awayer as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, just going back to an initial bit of play there from Tom Fellows. Great wing play, wasn't it? It's almost a throwback to our wingers. Running at the man, dropping the shoulder, going on the outside. Got a great ball in, penalty spotish. Somebody's got to be trying to get on the end of that.
Kioso hits a diagonal ball to find Sikiri Dembele. Oh, he couldn't keep it in play. It's a great fired ball right to left from Kioso, but it hit Dembele on the chest, and he must have a chest like a Toblerone, because it went straight up in the air and behind.
That was a really high tariff on it. That was coming at him right on the, I mean, his toes were right on the touchline.
I don't wish to name drop, but Trevor Francis once passed me a ball like that, and it came at me like a tracer bullet. I don't know how it stayed within 10 yards of me after my first touch.
I'd have loved to see that.
Oh no, you wouldn't. Karlan Grant for West Brom down the left hand side of the area. Cross great deflected save. And great save by Cumming, because that deflected towards goal, and the Oxford keeper had to make something of it. Still in the area with West Brom. Fellows tries to turn inside Nelson, but Oxford get it half clear, only as far as Mowat. But that cross from Karlan Grant deflected towards goal. Cumming had to do something.
Yeah, great save, to be honest with you. Did enough as well.
Dejan Garner finds Darnell Furlong on the right hand side. Albion still pressing. Lovely reverse ball from Mowat into the area. Racic wins a corner for West Brom. They're pressing again, the visitors trying to get a second, and they have another corner at the east stand end away to our right, and they lead by a goal to nil.
Yeah, they're turning the screw now, West Brom, to be fair. Alex Mowat's right in the centre of everything that's happening that's good for West Brom. Great touch and awareness. Little ball down the side of the defenders, and it's blocked away for a corner,
which Mowat will take. Favours the left-footed in-swinging delivery of the former Leeds and Barnsley man. In it comes from Mowat to the far post, headed out by Brown, only as far as Racic, 25 yards out, and he tries a left-footed effort, but wasn't that far wide. Certainly had a lot of venom behind the strike, but not quite the direction and Oxford have a goal kick. That's 7 minutes to half time on Talksport 2. It's Oxford 0, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Yeah, just looking at Des Buckingham, he's not happy really with the amount of time that was allowed there, or afforded the West Brom player to get the shot off at the edge of the box. No challenge coming in. No, I think they just need a little bit of a reset here at half time, Oxford. They played okay, but okay is getting them beat at this moment in time.
That's the voice of Neil Redfern alongside me, Ian Danter, here at the Kazam Stadium. Neil, former Barnsley Premier League midfielder, Sheffield United women's manager and Leeds United manager, and Alex Mowat coach. The reason Alex Mowat is out there, and I shouldn't forget it.
Keep going.
Reading back in front against Crawley, incidentally, in League One. Lewis Wing has made it Reading 2, Crawley 1 at the Select Car Leasing. Semi Ajayi for West Brom, under pressure, and he's given it away to Harris. Now Dembele tries to take over. Ajayi atones for the early. He just dawdled in possession and had the ball taken off his toe by Mark Harris.
Yeah.
And it ends up being an Oxford throw, 1-0 Albion.
He just caught one there from Ajayi, did Harris, and he's not happy. He's limping away. It was a late one because he realised he'd made a bit of a boo-boo there. Sami Ajayi.
I haven't heard that phrase for a while, a bit of a boo-boo. Here is Ben Nelson for Oxford United, finding Kioso, drives into the centre circle from right back. Another floaty pass looking for Dembele. Can he pick it up this time? No, it's just ahead of Dembele this time. Again, the idea from Kioso is right.
Yeah.
Execution just slightly wayward. And Dembele appreciates the effort from his teammate, but it is a West Bromwich Albion throw. It's gone bad to worse for Plymouth. They're 2-0 down at Cardiff, and now Ibrahim Sissoko, their live wire attacking midfielder, has been sent off. So Cardiff 2-0 up and a man up against Plymouth Argyle in one of our lunchtime games today in the Championship. Torbjorn Hegem picks the ball up for West Brom, drives it out to Grant, the goal scorer. Out on the left-hand side, running at pace at Kioso. Gets inside Kioso, goes for goal, and the shot is straight at Jamie Cumming. Very comfortable save, but super pace from the former Huddersfield man, Karlan Grant. 1-0 West Brom. Yeah,
he's showed what he's all about there, Karlan Grant. I mean, he's so good coming in off that left-hand side onto his right foot.
Harris again making a nuisance of himself, this time against Bartley. Went down in a heap, and yet again Lee Doughty, the referee, decides that's not a foul on the Oxford number 9. You can probably tell that from the atmosphere around us. Here's Grant coming in field again. Lovely dummy from Josh Matcher. Dejan Garner picks it at right hand side of the area, tried to square it across for a tap-in when he could have shot at goal, and it ricochets kindly for Jamie Cumming, who plunges on top of the ball, and you can hear that resigned sound of Neil Redfern's voice at Dejan Garner not shooting.
Well, that's a couple of times, isn't it, now? He's got in some great positions, all through good work as well, running with the ball, dropping his shoulder, finding an angle, opening that Oxford back line up, but he's just got to pull the trigger. I mean, he's 10 yards out on the angle.
Goal kick from Jamie Cumming, cleared from hands. Ajayi heads back towards the halfway line. Volks goes in strongly against Dejan Garner, and then Dejan Garner's fouled by Rodriguez, and every decision that goes against Oxford United is met with a volley of disappointment from all around the three stands. Well, apart from the section of Albion supporters directly opposite us, they're quite happy with the way that Lee Doughty's making his decisions out there so far.
Yeah, I think that was an easy one for the ref.
It was a foul by Rodriguez. We could see that. That was right next to our commentary position. Ball's back with Alex Palmer, West Brom keeper. He's bedecked all in green as well today, same as Jamie Cumming. Ball cleared up to halfway by Ajayi, bounces in the centre circle, doesn't help Josh Madger out, and Will Volks floats it down to the left-hand corner of the box. It might break for Dembele. Has to wait for it to come down. Now it's with Rodriguez, left-hand corner of the penalty area, into Dembele just inside the box, trying to wriggle free of a couple of challenges. Support from El Mizzouni on this left-hand side. Dembele goes down off the ball under a challenge from Furlong. Howls from the Oxford supporters wanting a free kick, but play goes on. Oxford have it right-hand side with Kioso and now Tyler Goodrum. Goodrum drives infield from that right-hand touchline, lays it back to Will Volks, calmly across to El Mizzouni, and then out to the left-hand side near to us and Sekili Dembele up against Furlong. Will he come inside once again? Yes, he does. He's caught. And again, ironic cheers as Oxford United, and a standing ovation as Oxford United are given a free kick level with the edge of the West Brom box.
Brilliant. I mean, he's been excellent, to be fair, as Dembele on this left-hand side. I mean, he's a real handful. A couple of times he's been brought down and not been given free kicks, but he wins that one. Mr. Doughty, like you said, in no doubt given that free kick. It's in a good position.
Good. See, you see, Lee Doughty, no doubt. You've had that in your locker all afternoon.
I was just waiting for the moment, mate.
Well, we've got 1 minute of normal time to play in this first half, plus whatever Lee Doughty wants to add on for stoppages at the end of this first period. But Oxford have a free kick down the left-hand side of the area, level with the edge of the box. And it's Will Vaulks who's going to take it right-footed and swirl it in. Actually rolls it back into the centre of the half, and Tyler Goodrum. Goodrum went for goal ambitiously from fully 30 yards out. Deflects back out to Will Vaulks, and he'll go back to El Mazouni in the centre circle. That's a bit of a waste from Oxford United, Neil Redfern.
Well, look, it's the right idea. I'm all for being inventive and all that, and it's the right ball perhaps for Will Vaulks to give. But he just drives it straight into Goodrum. He's got no chance. He's got to have a touch, which gives West Brom a chance to get out and block it. It's just a waste.
Ball's inside the Oxford half, but the ball just drifts away from Grady Diangana, and Oxford have it back. Dembele on the halfway line, tries to get away from Furlong, but the ball went out of play. Throw into West Bromwich Albion, and we are moving in to 2 minutes of minimum stoppage time. It's half time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Spurs and West Ham are one apiece, live on Talksport. Second half commentary to come from there over on Talksport with Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce. Accrington Stanley 1, Barrow 0 is also confirmed as a half time in League 2. And a throw to West Brom inside their own half, just down beneath our commentary position, and the referee tells Darnell Furlong, get on with it. So he hurls it back into play down this near touchline. Vaulks heads clear. Harris can't quite get a piece of it on halfway. It was just flicked away from him by Mowat. Ajayi back for his keeper Palmer, but he was being closed down immediately by Mark Harris, and that hurried his clearance, and it wasn't the best, and it came back to him in the end. Harris knew he couldn't chase after the ball that was headed forward, as he knew he'd be offside.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some good moments for Oxford. I just feel he's a little bit isolated up there, Mark Harris. We've seen a lot of Dembele. He's a real outlet for him on this left-hand side. I just think they just need to get more bodies around Harris if they can.
Wickham 0, Peterborough 0 is a half-time score. So too Preston, North End, Coventry. That's 0-0 at Deepdale at the break. And Manchester United's women 1-0 up at Brighton at half-time in the WSL. 1-0 to Albion here. Last knockings of the first half. Tom Fellows, right-hand corner of the penalty area, up against Kieran Brown, again drives for the byline, pulls it across the face, and it just ricochets away from Karlan Grant, but he'll keep it in play, chips it back in front of goal, up goes Madger, and it came off an Oxford defender, and behind for a corner to West Brom, right at the end of this first half, with Albion leading 1-0.
Yeah, brilliant wing play again from Tom Fellows. I mean, he's a real outlet on this right-hand side, picks it up in the box, drops his shoulder, goes down on the outside again. It's a great little cut back, and there's blue and white shirts piling in on it, but it misses everybody and deflects out for a corner.
Grant to take the corner kick in that northeast corner of the field, on the far side of the field from us, loops it to the far post, up goes Ajayi and Bartley, and it drifts away from both of them. And the boos that go around the Kazam Stadium are not so much for Oxford United's performance and the current scoreline, where West Brom lead by a goal to 0. But I think the home faithful feel they are not getting the rub of the green in the 50-50 challenges from referee Lee Doughty, but no doubting the quality of the strike that has put West Brom in front as they look to get back on the horse and get back amongst the automatic promotion spots. Karlan Grant picked up the ball 25 yards out around the half-hour mark and smacked it low, hard and true into the bottom corner. Superb finish from the man back from a loan at Cardiff City last year, and it's given West Brom a lead that they by and large just about deserve. Wonder what Des Buckingham will have to say to his players at half-time and how they respond in the second period. At the break here at the Kazam Stadium on Talksport 2, it's Oxford United 0, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Thanks very much, Dan. Yeah, Neil, it does feel as if Oxford have ridden their luck a little bit. They haven't had that much to show up front. Siriki Dembele probably their brightest spark, but are the fans right to be booing the referee? Have they not had the rub of the green?
I think there's been one or two decisions which probably have been a little bit contentious, but by and large I think he's got most things right. I agree, Faye. I think that they need to do a little bit more. They need to up the tempo a little bit. Oxford, it's a little bit lacklustre. They showed a little bit of promise early doors, but they've frittered away really. And from West Brom's point of view, it looks like a really accomplished away performance so far.
Yep, certainly does. I tell you what, Carlan Grant took his goal well.
Wow.
There were a few challenges flying in leading up to it, but I watched it about 3 times on the replay, and it was a lovely low finish into the right hand corner of Jamie Cummings' goal, in off the post as well, which I always love.
Yeah, it's been coming as well. He's a good outlet. Both wide players have done well for West Brom, Fellows and Grant. But when he picked it up, as soon as he drove with it, you could see what he was going to do. He struck it beautifully, and it almost skipped across the grass, clipped the post, and went in the far corner. And it gave the goalkeeper Jamie Cummings absolutely no chance. Great finish. Yeah,
it was a great. I was impressed with the celebs as well. Look. Players nowadays do get accused of over-celebrating, including defensive tackles that we see sometimes, but you could see how much that meant to the players and to Carlan Grant in particular.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's obviously he came back in the last game, and he started this game as well. But he's obviously a big player for West Brom, and I think the players must be really pleased for the fact that he's got himself on the score sheet, particularly in this game as well, because this is a difficult game for West Brom. They'll have known that. They'll have known Oxford's form at home and how difficult they are to get across. But it gave them the perfect start, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it did. Big team talk at half-time for Des Buckingham, as Dan said. What is he going to say to his players? Because they're not out of this at all.
No, I just think they just need to up everything a little bit. You know what I mean? Push the game on maybe 10-15 yards, get the tempo up, get in West Brom's faces a little bit more, get some support around Mark Harris. He's been isolated a lot of times. I'm looking at Rodriguez and Mizzuni in midfield. They've got to get up the pitch and get round him and support him. They've not done it, and I think they need to do that a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, go get yourself a cuppa at half-time. I'll speak to you very shortly. Just an update as to what's going on elsewhere over on Talksport right now. It's Tottenham 1, West Ham 1 at half-time. Mohamed Kudus putting the Hammers ahead on 18 minutes. Dejan Kulusevski equalised for Spurs, all to play for in the second half there. Elsewhere in the lunchtime kickoffs, Cardiff 2, 10-man Plymouth 0. They've had Ibrahim Sissoko sent off. Robertson and Colwell with the 2 goals for Cardiff. Luton 1 up against Watford in the M1 derby. Come on, you Hatters. Jordan Clark on the score sheet. Apparently the roof went off when that goal went in. My family are all there. I am missing it massively to be here at Craven Cottage today. Oxford United 0, West Brom 1, as you just heard. Preston 0, Coventry 0. They're all Championship half-time scores. In League 1, Reading 2, Crawley 1, Wickham 0, Peterborough 0, and Accrington out of the relegation places thanks to Sean Wally. They'd lead Barrow by a goal to 0. Barrow with a chance to go top if they can get themselves back into that game in the second half. And in the WSL, Manchester United away in Crawley at Brighton are a goal up thanks to Grace Clinton, who scored in the 10th minute. Right, you're up to date with everything. Half-time at the Kassam Stadium, Oxford United 0, West Brom 1. Baggies need a win to go top of the Championship. Second half is coming next, and we're going to look ahead to our exclusive 3 p.m. Premier League commentary here on Talksport 2 as Fulham host Aston Villa.
It's the totally immersive football experience.
Right, put it on! What a goal!
EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2.
Jim White and Simon Jordan on Talksport. Mid-morning radio that's up for the job.
I'm hot under the collar with this.
Concrete sports talk.
Edge that one in stone.
Rapid setting opinion.
I still think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Oh, no. Come on.
Big names, all bagged up.
David Moyes, John Hart's, Ian Rush.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Delivered weekday mornings from 10 on Talksport by Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
You're curious, inquisitive. You've heard about People's Postcode Lottery and you want to join. Just enter your postcode and you'll be automatically entered into all draws. And in our November draws, you could win a share of £23.5 million. Just imagine the dream home renovations and dream your holidays. For the chance to win, sign up before midnight on the 31st of October, because good news could be delivered to your door. People's Postcode Lottery manage lotteries on behalf of good causes. 18 plus conditions apply. Play responsibly. Not available in Northern Ireland.
When you book with Premier in, you won't break the bank. So whether you're a racquetball team refuelling in Rochdale, the Williams wedding guests in Wandsworth needing a recovery brekkie, and the budding business owners meeting buyers in Birmingham,
I think we have a deal.
you'll get the same great value experience every time. Wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, do your thing and get great stays at great prices at premierinn.com. Premier Inn. Rest easy.
Angela Rippon, what are you doing here?
I've come to tell you about using energy flexibly, Albert.
Flexibly?
Yes, smart meter owners could get rewarded for moving their energy use, like doing the laundry at off-peak times.
So I don't need to do the splits?
No, Albert. Nobody wants to see that.
Get rewarded for using energy flexibly, only with a smart meter. Search Get a Smart Meter today.
Eligibility and availability vary. Consumer action required. Reward schemes and tariffs available to selected customers from selected suppliers.
Lidl's Wooden Toy event is here. Catch a Brio-compatible train set for $14.99. Feed the fun with kitchen accessories at $9.99. Or build their brains with puzzles at $1.99. And get 10% off all our wooden toys when you download Lidl Plus. Subject to availability. Ends 23rd of October. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV for details. Terms apply.
This Tuesday, Amazon brings you the UEFA Champions League.
Who's going to get on the end of it? Who wants it more? Magnificent. Wonderful goal.
Arsenal versus Shakhtar, live from 6:30 p.m. It's on Prime.
New Impact Sub from William Hill prepares you for those unexpected player subs by keeping your bet builder running for longer. So when you've backed your star man to have the game of his life, but the manager says he's done, your bet isn't. If your selected player comes off, we carry the bet onto the substitute. Enhance your big match bet builders with Impact Sub. That's proper value from William Hill. Available online and in shops, selected competitions and markets. Cash out on online bets only. Available until players substituted. Full T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Feel the power and the glory. Game day.
And he scored. It's a brilliant goal.
Fired up and raring to go. EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2.
Here is Smith Rowe coming forward now, cutting infield, right foot shot from him, brilliantly done by Emile Smith Rowe.
Again, I have to say, Fulham look good, you know.
Marco Silva, what a good manager.
To be pleased, not just with the results, but the way you have been performing.
Fulham's season is getting better and better and better. Marco Silva deserves a huge amount of credit.
Not the way football works, you're under pressure at the Cottage.
It's Gerrard! Yes! What a goal! What a goal! Played now to John Gerrard!
Premier League is the most important competition we are going to face. Our first objective is to be in Europe or to get one position in the table.
It's just exciting times going forward for Aston Villa.
That's been created under Unai Emery, that connection between the fans and the players, and it makes them very hard to beat.
Watkins making a good run forward here, and he slipped him inside the penalty area, and he's hit it. Oh! Has he hit it, Ollie Watkins?
This is EFL Game Day Live. Faye Carruthers with you here on Talksport 2. Second half between Oxford United and West Brom coming up with Ian Danter and Neil Redfern. Over on Talksport at half-time, it's Spurs 1, West Ham 1. And at the conclusion of our exclusive EFL Championship commentary, we'll bring you another exclusive, this time in the Premier League, as Fulham host Aston Villa here at Craven Cottage. Our commentary team of former Arsenal winger Perry Groves and Talksport's Adam Bridge are with me to look ahead to the game. Afternoon.
Are you okay, Faye? You was a bit edgy in the media. You couldn't get the game up, could you? Was you worried about your welfare? Just say you're okay.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit stressed that I couldn't get Luton Watford up on my app. It was very frustrating. I had commentary of Ian Danter and Neil Redfern in one ear, listening to Oxford United against West Brom, and then I was trying to get up Luton Watford at the same time. So yeah,
multitasking.
But do you know what? I tell you what I haven't told Dance yet today. I walked out of my house this morning. You know I'm a Luton fan, so I would obviously normally be
really
dressed
Did you know that, Adam?
head to toe in orange.
News to me, Perry.
Yeah, I just wondered.
Well, today I've walked out in claret and blue like an absolute idiot into Craven Cottage ahead of their game against Aston Villa. So if I get booed and you hear that coming over the tannoy, that is why. I'm quite excited about this game, actually. Both sides really free-flowing football this season. I cannot believe, however, that it is Marco Silva's 150th game in charge of Fulham. Where's that time gone?
Frightening. And to be fair, he's resurrected his managerial career here at Fulham, hasn't he? Because obviously the questions are asked when he was at Everton, and that was a bastard case of a club anyway, and he didn't go that well. And he's come to Fulham. He's completely changed Fulham around from being a team that, you know, just wanted to survive in the Premier League to a team now that is established in the Premier League and causing all of the big teams problems. And we saw it against Man City, where arguably if Adama Traore didn't have his roller skates on when he was finishing, it'd have been Fulham could have come away with something at the Etihad.
Yeah, without a doubt. Villa have got such a tough week coming up, haven't they? 3 games they've got to juggle. This is what happens when you make the Champions League. They're not complaining about it, that's for sure. But they've got a game at home to Bologna to come as well. The question mark has always been whether or not they've got the strength in depth, Adam.
And you have to look at what happened in the summer. I mean, they did make a little bit of money on all their sales, but I think the key thing for him going into that international break, obviously Onana had been out injured, there was no McGinn, there was no Ramsey, Mings and Kamara coming back from ACLs. I mean, Mings has not played for over 400 days, and Konsa obviously pulled out of the England squad and was injured against Manchester United. They tell us yesterday, or certainly Unai Emery said yesterday, they're all back and they are all available.
Wow.
So I mean, that's the biggest boost that he could have, because they're 5 unbeaten in the Premier League, and without those players they've still been winning games of football. You know, they've kept more clean sheets in the Champions League than they have in the Premier League. It's impressive what they've been doing, and with those bodies back, it just gives them that extra bit of strength that they knew they would need to try and fight on all 4 fronts this season.
Yeah, it was a game against Manchester United before the international break that actually we all thought could be absolutely cracking, and ended up goalless and pretty
awful. It was awful,
dreary.
wasn't it?
It was really terrible. But it means that Villa are unbeaten now in 8 games across all competitions. They're 5th and level on points with Chelsea, who are just above them. It's been a really, really good season. They've carried on the form that they had last season.
Very much so. Unai Emery never complains. You know, when managers say, oh, we've got to play Wednesday and we've got an early kick-off on the Saturday, or we're playing Thursday, we've got to play Sunday, because he is the European Jedi. He's won. He is, because he's won.
He's the master.
He is. He's won 4 Europa Leagues, you know, with obviously 2 different teams. And I just think, you said about the Man United game, I just think that I thought they'd been on a high, and you know, that would. I think it just took too much out of the Villa players emotionally and physically. You could tell they were a little bit leggy, and when Aston Villa
after the Bayern Munich win,
Bayern Munich win, and when they're a little bit leggy, Villa, they play high intensity, don't they? Like to press down, they keep a high line. So I was actually at the game, and you could tell from the get-go that they were just a little bit not on it. Manchester United defended well, to be fair to them. You know, brought Maguire and Johnny Evans back into the side, but we was talking about it, Adam, wasn't we, down in the press lounge? When we got this game, it was like, oh, this is going to be a great... You know, when you get your fixtures for, you think, this is going to be a great game, because both managers want their team to play front foot attacking football. Yeah. And you mentioned about Marco Silva completely changed the culture of Fulham around to go and take the game to teams. And I'm looking forward, obviously being a bit biased, being a gooner, I think Emma Smith-Rowe hopefully will play today, and he'll come back in the 10 when they play the 4-2-3-1 system. So it's going to be goals here today. Yeah,
I think you're right, and very much Emil Smith-Rowe has started brilliantly his career at Fulham, that's for sure. One of a number of players who've started well. Right, we'll continue to look forward to this game after the conclusion of the game up at the Kassam Stadium between Oxford United and West Brom. The players are back out. West Brom 1 up currently. Can Des Buckingham's side stop West Brom going top of the table? Let's find out in the company of former Leeds United manager Neil Redfern, who's alongside Talksport 2's Ian Danter.
Thank you very much, Faye. Yeah, both sets of players out, and Oxford just about to get the second half underway. No changes to the playing personnel out there, so I'll run through the lineups in just a minute. And Faye's dead right. If West Brom hang on to this 3-point haul that they're getting at the moment, whatever the score might end up being, they move on to 20 points. Above Sunderland, who play tomorrow at Hull. Leeds, who won last night, 19. Sheffield United, 19. Burnley, they're on 18 points, Burnley. And they travel to Sheffield Wednesday today at 3 o'clock. So quite an incentive for Carlos Corberán and West Brom to hold on to what they've got here so far at the Kassam Stadium. Bright sunshine once again here in Oxfordshire. Oxford in their yellow shirts and socks and dark blue shorts, attacking the east stand to our right. West Brom in their blue and white stripes with white shorts and socks. They're attacking the open end away to our left, what would be the west stand if there was one. And the West Brom fans are opposite us in the north stand. Coming in goal for Oxford, Kioso, Moore, Nelson and Brown in the back four. Volks in front of the back four, then Dembele, Rodriguez, El Mizuni and Goodrum behind Harris in attack as Oxford win a free kick just shy of halfway. For West Brom, 4-2-3-1, Palmer in goal, Furlong, Ajayi, Bartley and Hegem, Ratchich and Mowat, Fellows, Diangana, Grant and Madja. Here is Kieran Brown lobbing the ball forward. Ruben Rodriguez in behind the West Brom backline, but the ball bounced kindly for Alex Palmer, the West Brom keeper, who could catch it on the rise at the edge of his 6-yard box. 1-0 to West Brom.
Yeah, great run, to be fair. Times it superbly, Rodriguez, and it's a good spot to find him. It just kicks off the surface and gives the goalkeeper a chance to come and get it, Alex Palmer. But just looking at West Brom, when they do go up the pitch and they do press, they press with the two up top. So Diangana goes and joins Madja.
Bartley's been forced back by his own corner flag left-hand side. Diangana passed into the area for Dembele. Dembele in front of goal, can't muscle his way past Ratchich, who put himself between man and ball at just the right time for West Bromwich Albion, as Diangana inexplicably passed the ball into his own penalty area and gave it straight to Sekirin Dembele. West Brom still lead.
Yeah, he's got to get a shot off there, Dembele, at some point, even if he toys that. I mean, he's in the 6-yard box. You know, that's in the back of the net. Terrible by Diangana.
Now, Tyler Goodrum down this near side, the right for Oxford in the shaded part of the pitch. Feints across not once but twice. He's got Karlan Grant twisting and turning, but he hasn't put the ball in yet. Still has it, Goodrum. Rolls it back 15 yards or so to Will Volks. Once of Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff, Will Volks. Very important cog in the Oxford machine. Has it again and elects to go all the way back to Jamie Cumming. Busy day of sport on Talksport too, all sorts of different sports. Got some rugby union. Straight after Adam and Perry brought you Fulham Villa at 3. We're off to the Stoop. Harlequins against Bath. Andrew McKenna with rugby union commentary from the Premiership. I'll break off as Dembele sets El Mizuni away down the left-hand side of the box. Cross to the far post, headed behind by Hegem. He knew that Goodrum was coming in behind him. Early quarter in the second half to Oxford United, who trail 1-0.
Yeah, much better play from Oxford. It's a great little ball in, to be fair. It's well defended at the back stick by Hegem. It needed to be.
Well, Volks is going to take the resulting corner at the southeast corner down to our right-hand side. Right-footed outswinger to come from Volks. In it comes right in front of goal, and Bartley heads it behind for another corner from the same direction. Peterborough United lead at Wickham in League One. Ricky J. Jones gets the opener for the Posh at Adams Park.
Yeah, just looking at Kyle Bartley, he just plonked himself right in the middle of the goal mouth for players against, defending for West Brom. Anything that goes in that area, he just goes and heads it, so you've got to try and avoid him if you can. Will Volks.
Volks with the second corner in quick succession, into the near post, heads go up, drops at the far post, once onto the chest of Darnell Furlong, Somp said the arm. Palmer claims hold of the ball on his own dead ball line in the end, and it was really only half-hearted appeals for a penalty kick against Darnell Furlong. Incidentally, I think I can hear Faker others shrieking from here. Luton 2, Watford 0. Carlton Morris in the grudge match at Kenilworth Road gets the second for the Hatters. Faye is at Fulham today with Adam Bridge and Perry Groves, and we'll get some team news in the next 5 or 6 minutes from Adam for those lineups at Craven Cottage. West Brom coming forward with Diangana. Good tackle from Dembele to stop him striding forward, but it's still with West Bromwich Albion. Grant, the goal scorer, tries to play the ball across the face of goal, and Oxford smuggle it clear. Volks hits it long, asking Harris to give chase, but Harris is adjudged to have nudged Bartley off the ball, and once again the Oxford United fans around us cannot believe that the referee has given that against Mark Harris and has given West Bromwich Albion a free kick. Even Neil Redfern to my left is shaking his head slightly.
Yeah, man, look, they're getting tackling done away with. I don't know what the rules are for that, but he's right. I mean, he's booked Des Buckingham for that. I mean, I don't know why. I'm obviously complaining about it. I do know why he's got booked, but I don't know why he's given the free kick, to be honest with you. It's just bodily contact. You look at the size of Kyle Bartley, there's no way he should be shoved off the ball by Mark Harris, but he was.
Quickly taken free kick, gets West Bromwich Albion away. Diangana up to the edge of the area, slides Grant in down the left-hand side of the box, but Kioso defended it superbly. Now, can Oxford United channel all this disappointment at not getting decisions the right way? They find themselves 1-0 down here. Goodrum Right-hand corner of the box, can't get the cross in. Rodriguez plays a little 1-2. Ball's floated into the box, but just snakes away from both El Mazouni and Harris and rolls through to Jamie Cumming. Over on Talksport, it's now Tottenham 2, West Ham 1. Tottenham have come from behind in the London derby. Yves Bissouma making it 2-1. Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce, your commentary team, over on Talksport. West Brom give the ball away inside their own half of the field. El Mazouni, left-hand corner of the box for Oxford, rolls it back for Will Vaulks, takes a touch and takes a shot, and it's deflected, is it? No, it didn't take a touch on its way through. It bubbled wide of Alex Palmer's right-hand post, and West Brom have a goal kick. But this is better from Oxford United in the early stages of this second half, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, much better. I mean, this is what we talked about at half-time, is get the tempo up, get the energy up, get the crowd going. That's exactly what Oxford have done. They look more of a threat now going forward. They're getting people overlapping and getting down the sides. Much better from Oxford.
Cardiff 3, 10-man Plymouth 0 in one of the other lunchtime kickoffs. Former Villa player Anwar El Ghazi getting the third for the Bluebirds. Omar Risa must be thinking the job's as good as his if things continue the way they have since he took over from Balut. Now West Brom coming forward with Dean Garner, and that forces Vaulks to toe in the ball behind for a corner kick to West Brom at the open end away to our left-hand side. 7 gone in the second half on Talksport 2. Oxford 0, West Brom 1.
Yeah, great challenge from Will Vaulks, to be fair. He does that so well, you know. Just mops up and tracks runners that have been let go. And he's on his way into the box there, dancing his way into the box, Dean Garner. It's a great challenge.
Mowat will take the corner right next to where those West Brom fans are in the North Stand. Again, a lot of them still shielding their eyes from the sun that's right in their faces. In it comes from Mowat, swirling to the far post. Kioso heads half clear for Oxford, kept it away from Kyle Bartley, was rushing in. Grant loses out and Goodrum brings it away, tries to release Harris through the middle. Harris, lovely first touch, and then across from Darnell Furlong, and gets a touch and takes it away from him. No foul against Mark Harris. He feels like he's more sinned against than sinning this afternoon, the Oxford number 9, but West Brom have it back.
Yeah, I mean, every challenge now that goes against Oxford's contested by the supporters. They feel really badly done to. I mean, there has been a few, to be fair, that have gone against them, but don't need to feel sorry for themselves. They need to pull the socks up and have a go at this West Brom side, because they have shown frailties this second half.
In the WSL, Brighton and Hove Albion women have equalised against Manchester United. Nikita Paris making it 1-1. 1-0 here to West Bromwich Albion. 8 minutes gone in the second half. Lovely turn from Josh Madger, midway point of the Oxford half, lays it off to Mowat, gives it back to Madger, teases it out to Uros Racic, who goes down under pressure from Brown, and he gets a free kick. West Brom have an opportunity to swirl the ball into the Oxford box once again after Racic was brought down. There's an own goal from Jean-Claire Todibo that's put Tottenham Hotspur further clear over on Talksport. Now Tottenham 3, West Ham 1. Own goal from Jean-Claire Todibo. So a free kick to West Bromwich Albion out on the right-hand side, about 25 yards from the dead ball line, almost at the corner of the penalty area. This should favour Alex Mowat's left-footed delivery, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, an extra body in the wall as well. If you look there, 3 in the wall for Oxford. I don't know if it's in shootable distance, but it is quite close to the edge of the box.
The rest of the Oxford defenders holding their line just in front of the penalty spot. Bartley and Madger are deep at the far post for West Bromwich Albion. Grant standing over the free kick, plays it along the deck into the near post, and it's half volleyed behind by Harris for another West Brom corner at the open end away to our left. 10 gone in the second half, 1-0 to the visitors.
Yeah, well, a little bit of variation. Not the greatest delivery from Grant, but they're just mixing the free kicks up a little bit. Wasn't more at that time. Nearly got themselves in there. Hegan unlucky.
So it'll be Mowat once again with the set piece. This time a corner from the northwest corner. Again, looping to the far post. Cumming gets a punch on it, gets it out to the edge of the area. Grant drives it back in, and it, goodness me, took a touch off an Oxford knee and went behind. He hit that as fiercely as the one that he scored with in the first half. That really was travelling, but it hit an Oxford leg and went over the bar for another West Brom corner.
Well, that was an absolutely fantastic strike. Great technique. I mean, he must have been, 25 yards out? Struck that sweet as a nut. And I think it hit Craig Brown. on the knee and deflected over the bar. Good job it did. That'd have been nestling in the back of the net without a doubt.
It's a good job he's still got a knee. So Grant with this corner kick down beneath us, a right-footed in-swinger. Again, deep to the far post. Brown goes up, looked like he got pushed in the back. He was by Bartley. And again, more ironic applause as the decision goes Oxford United's way on this occasion.
Yeah, to be fair to the referee, I mean, some of these are not difficult to give, are they? I think I mean, that was, quite easy to give.
What were you like as a referee in training matches?
Oh, shocking. I just let everything go. Play on.
Injuries everywhere. Bodies on the deck. What's wrong with you? Get up with you. Ball's up on halfway. West Brom head it into the Oxford half, but it's tidied up by Volks. Neatly gets it back to his goalkeeper, Jamie Cumming, who joined initially on loan in January from Chelsea. He's now definitely the number one, having taken over from the likes of Simon Eastwood and Matt Ingram. And he will clear right-footed, looking for Harris just over halfway, but Ajayi with a good strong header clear for West Brom, but Oxford win it back. It's back with Ben Nelson, tries to drive it across, and it makes its way through to Tyler Goodrum. He's trying to isolate Hegem on this near side. Support from Kioso on the overlap, but Goodrum goes in field. Now El Mazouni, he looked for Kioso, had stopped his run. El Mazouni wanted to get it out to Kioso on the right. It went out for a West Brom throw. Let's get the team news from our 3 o'clock exclusive commentary here on Talksport 2 in the Premier League at Craven Cottage. Fulham Villa. Adam Bridge has the details for you.
And the big news comes from Aston Villa, where Jacob Ramsey and Amadou Onana are back from injury. They come into the starting 11 alongside Carlos as well. Philogene, Barkley and Konsa, who drops down to the bench. McGinn and Kamara, they're back from injury on the bench. Tyrone Mings has travelled, but he's not in the squad today. One change for Fulham. Lukic is out through injury, picked up on international duty. And Smith Rowe comes back into the starting 11.
Thank you, Adam. Perry Groves will be alongside Adam Bridge for full commentary of that game, and Adam will keep you in touch with all the scores elsewhere from the 3 o'clock kickoffs here in this lunchtime game. Oxford in possession, a goal down to West Brom. Dembele at the edge of the area, back to goal. Feeds it back to El Mazouni, then Volks neatly across to Kioso. Goodrum calling for it on this near side, the right wing. Gives it back inside to the right back Kioso, who calmly rolls it into the centre circle for his captain, Elliot Moore. 4-1 to Tottenham now, I'm hearing. Son Heung-min gets a fourth. They're running riot at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, having fallen behind. Dembele with a cross, and it goes to everybody and goes out of play for a goal kick. I don't know whether Alex Palmer lost that in the flight, but he didn't go for it as the cross came in. But it can't have taken a touch of any West Brom player, because a goal kick has been given, and Dembele trudges back towards the halfway line. And it's still 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion.
I tell you what, he's been absolutely brilliant, Sariki Dembele, in this game. Every time he's got the ball, something's happened. And they need to take advantage of that, Oxford, to be fair. I mean, that's a fantastic cross right across the 6-yard box. It's got to be a yellow shirt getting on the end of that.
But nobody was. Goodrum for Oxford United. Good ball infield to Harris, who controls it well. It was rather fizzed in at him, and he held onto it very well indeed. Kioso back to halfway, and Volks, who passes along the halfway line right to left for Nelson. Now Brown, early ball into the feet of El Mazouni, who lays it off to Dembele. Dembele trying to run through the challenge of Rakic, but the ball just ricocheted away off the pair of them and bobbled through to Alex Palmer. That's confirmed. Tottenham Hotspur 4, West Ham 1. Tottenham do like to give teams a start at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The number of times they've gone 1-0 down.
Theatre value. They are, mate.
Now West Brom coming forward. Fellows trying to get in behind Kieran Brown, and Brown, in trying to clear it, hit the ball against Tom Fellows, and he got the luck of the draw there, Neil Redfern. It just ricocheted back to his keeper, Jamie Cumming.
Yeah, do you know what? I've been really impressed with Fellows. He's aware of the space in behind his marker. He attacks people aggressively. He's got a great cross on him. Just fades balls into the box. He's been brilliant today.
Well, Tom Fellows began with the under-10s at West Bromwich Albion. He's already made over 50 appearances at just 21 years of age. Amazing. 5 assists this season, 5 goals and 4 assists last season in his breakthrough campaign. And as you mentioned when you were speaking with Faker Others before kick-off, Neil Redfern, he's now an England under-21 player.
Yeah, he's got a goal as well to his name, international level. But he's been outstanding. Both wide players have been outstanding. You know, Grant with his goal and his movement and his finishing. And obviously on the other side, more conventional as a winger, I would have said, Fellows. Likes to go down the outside and get balls in.
An hour gone. Oxford United 0, West Bromwich Albion 1 here on Talksport 2 on Game Day exclusive. No signs of any changes yet from either bench. Looks like Craig Short is motioning to one or two Oxford players to come back and get ready. I think they're going to blink first, the home side, and make changes.
Yeah, I think they need to, don't they? I think they've been much better this second half, by the way. More energy, more determination. Bodies further forward, higher up the pitch as a team. If you look where they are now, look, it's not a mid-block now, it's high press.
Well, Owen Dale has just gone out to warm up, but he's not the one coming on. Dean Garner, meantime, for West Brom, finds Grant down the left-hand side of the area. The cross is blocked again by Kioso. Volks can't get it clear. One back by Madger, trying to work it into the path of Karlan Grant. Madger pulls it back from the byline, comes out to the edge of the area, and Ratchich with a drive is held at the second attempt by Jamie Cumming, and the danger passes for Oxford United as West Brom went sniffing a second.
Yeah, decent strike from Ratchich, keeps it on target, nice and low, firm, deflects slightly, he does well there, to be fair. Jamie Cumming keeps his eye on it and drops on it well.
1-0 to West Bromwich Albion. Talksport and Talksport 2 supports the EFL's Together Against Racism campaign, which is running at the moment. It's encouraging players, managers and fans, both in the stands and at home, to use their voice to drive change. For more on all of that, head to EFL.com, please. Thanks very much indeed. Well, the voice you can hear there is of the collective Oxford United support, again thinking that Mark Harris should have been awarded a free kick, but nothing doing. Oxford trying to win it back in the centre circle. Furlong keeps it away from Volks, and then Mowat twists and turns and finds Josh Madger, who tries to turn himself. He's clipped by Ben Nelson, who's going to get a yellow card to match the colour of his shirt from referee Doughty. Wycombe have equalised against Peterborough in League One. Richard Kone with that equaliser. Wycombe 1, Peterborough 1. And we played 63 minutes here on Talksport 2. And here comes a double change for Oxford United. Louis Sibley and Dane Scarlett are coming on. And Mark Harris has worked really hard in attack this afternoon on his return from international duty, but Dane Scarlett, on loan from Tottenham, is coming on to replace him. And the other change, we'll see Louis Sibley come on. I think it's El Mizuni that's making way for the former Derby County man. So a double change for Oxford United, just past the hour mark. Harris and El Mizuni off, Scarlett and Sibley on, but West Brom have a free kick and they have that slender 1-goal advantage. Ball floated up to the edge of the Oxford area, headed out strongly by Elliot Moore. Neat touch from Goodrum to keep it away from Karlan Grant, who was moving dangerously. Scarlett is the target for a long ball downfield, but the ball skipped away off the greasy surface and bounced through to Alex Palmer. 1-0 West Brom. Neil Redfern, those changes?
Yeah, a little bit of pace, same shape. They've not abandoned the shape. Probably going to join Scarlett a little bit more, perhaps is Sibley, but I mean, they're much better this second half. They look more together, they're higher up the pitch, playing with a little bit more energy. Just need to crack that final third if they can. Just need a little bit more quality in around the box.
Louis Sibley got his first goal at Portsmouth. Came in July after a best part of 175 appearances for Derby. He got a hat-trick very early in his career at Millwall, which is where he really came to prominence early on, Louis Sibley. Scarlett was on loan at Ipswich last season and failed to score. He might get a chance here as he's being manhandled by Alex Mowat. A yellow card is going to come the way of the West Brom midfielder, because Scarlett, in the middle of the West Brom half, was trying to get clear, and arms round the waist from Alex Mowat. Easy yellow card for the referee to give.
Yeah, you see Carlos Coburn, his manager, will be really disappointed with that, because that's come out of nothing. There's no pressure on the ball there. You know, he's just got to keep that moving. Too many touches on the ball. Alex Mowat gets pinched by Sibley and he's off. Scarlett, and he's off. You know, he's working his way up the pitch, but and he's having to pull him back, which it's just unprofessional. You know, the 1-0 up away from home. Don't give this Oxford side a leg up. That's what I'll be saying to his team.
Oxford unbeaten at home so far in the campaign, but they find themselves behind here. Sibley collects a short free kick from Volks, floats it to the far post looking for Nelson. Cleared away by West Brom up to the halfway line. Kioso heads it back deep into the West Brom half, but it's headed clear by Hegham this time at the back for the visitors. And he gets another header on the ball, but Sibley, with his shock of blonde hair, retrieves it in midfield. Goodrum does well to keep it in play, tight to this near touchline, and then work back into the centre circle for Nelson. Across for the lively Sekiri Dembele. Chops in field and then leaves it in field. That's kept in play on that far left hand side. Kioso lets it run out to Goodrum on this near side. Reading 3, Crawley 1. Charlie Savage, son of Robbie, who was 50 yesterday, I think, Robbie Savage. We should keep mentioning that. He wouldn't want to be mentioned that he's joined the 50 club. But his lad scored at the third for Reading this afternoon, who were clearly enjoying themselves.
Was it United? Was it United?
He was, yeah, much like Robbie was, yeah, of course. Incidentally, it's Ruben Rodriguez who went off, not El Mazzuni, do forgive me, for Louis Sibley, for that double change for Oxford United, as they trail 1-0 here. Uros Racic, good ball up to halfway for Grady Diangana, but Diangana elects not to run forward, just runs across the line, right to left, when it seemed he had green grass to run into there, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, you'd think that West Brom would want to try and get that second. You know, it probably put the game to bed, to be honest with you, because they've not offered enough Oxford going forward if we can get that second, West Brom. But
given away by West Brom inside their own half. Tyler Goodrum picks it up, right wing, early cross into the box, looking for Dembele, who got him with a header, one of the smallest men on the pitch, but the ball came off the top of his head as much as anything and sailed over the crossbar for a West Bromwich Albion goal kick. 1-0 to the Baggies.
Yeah, great ball in by Goodrum. Decides not to beat his man, just gets it out of his feet and feels it right round the back of that West Brom defence, and it's right onto his head. To be fair, Dembele, he's got to do a little bit better there. There's a lot of pace on it, but he's got to try and steer that on target.
John Swift's coming on in a minute for West Brom for Carlos Corbrand's first change, and Jed Wallace had two of their great free transfer captures from Reading and Millwall respectively a year or so back, are going to come on to try and see this game out for West Bromwich Albion, who lead by a goal to nil on Talksport 2, game day exclusive.
If you look where they are now, look, Dan, it's a lot higher up the pitch.
Oxford. Yes, they are, yeah. Much higher press. And they've won the ball back on halfway with a strong Kieran Brown header. El Mazzuni down the left-hand side. Dembele, quick feet in such a tight area, does well. It's worked across to the right-hand side, the near side to us, and again Tyler Goodrum gets it out of his feet and works it infield to Louis Sibley. Sibley runs into trouble, and West Brom win it back. Quick ball from Diangana, finds Grant on halfway. Back in field for Diangana. Madger to his right, and to his left is Tom Fellows into the area, but cross came Ben Nelson, just casually flicked it out of play for a throw-in. Meantime, the changes are going to be made, and Tom Fellows is going to come off to allow Wallace to come on. And you've been impressed with Tom Fellows, Neil Redfern, this afternoon.
Yeah,
but I think all West Brom fans have been impressed with him for quite some time, the academy graduate.
Yeah, he's been excellent, to be honest with you. You know, he's, like I said, he's a more conventional winger, if you like. He beats his man and goes down the outside. He's done it on half a dozen occasions to great effect. Got good ball into the box. Can be pleased with his performance today.
So Jed Wallace, once a Millwall, comes on for him, and the other change sees Grady Diangana coming off to allow John Swift to replace him.
Yeah, he's been in and out the game, hasn't he, to be fair, Diangana. He's shown bits, you know, he's obviously got great ability, and he's finding his feet, I suppose, his second game back.
Well, now Swift getting involved early on for West Brom, down by the corner flag, this near side to us, has it now left-hand side, flicks it into the path of Carlan Grant, 10 yards from the dead ball line, very tight to this near touch line. Swift then clips a lovely ball down the left-hand side of the area. Racic lays it off to Karlan Grant, left wing. Hasn't put the ball in yet. Swift is there for him. Down the left-hand side of the box. Very inventive passing from West Bromwich Albion, but they're not putting the ball into the danger area. If I was Josh Madger, I'd be a bit annoyed. But now Karlan Grant got pulled back there on the shirt. I could see that, and so did the referee, as Tyler Goodrum had a chunk of Karlan Grant's blue and white striped shirt, and West Brom now have a free kick level with the edge of the area. Incidentally, Wickham 3, Peterborough 1. Peterborough down to 10. Emmanuel Fernandez sent off, and Richard Kone scored the resulting penalty. Wickham 3, Peterborough 1, and Preston lead Coventry by a 1-0. Emil Rees for Preston. 1 defeat in 6 under Paul Heckingbottom. A lot of draws there. Coventry lost 4 of the last 5 under Mark Robbins, and Emil Rees has given them the lead. West Brom with a free kick, level with the edge of the area, driven in by Swift, drops on the 6-yard line, but there was a push by a West Brom player. Grant smacks the ball into the back of the net like he did in the first half, but that one won't count. Neil Redfern, we've got less than 20 minutes to go, and Albion still only 1 goal in front.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel that West Brom have maybe missed a trick here. They should have been going for that second goal if they could put the game to bed, but you know, like you say, they're still in it. Oxford look much better in this shape. They're higher up the pitch, moving the ball quicker, created a little bit more. Subs have made a difference.
They have, and here's one of them now, Louis Sibley, but can't get away from Alex Mowat. Racic, the tall, rangy midfielder on loan from Sassuolo, wins it, but a poor pass from him, and they're trying to release Dane Scarlett through the middle. Oxford with the ball over the top, but that's meat and drink for Kyle Bartley. We will shortly be seeing Malcolm Ibioe for Oxford United with the score at 1-0. He's waiting to come on down beneath us. Meanwhile, Grant tucks the ball neatly in field to John Swift. Run down the left-hand side of the area. It's put behind for a corner kick. Was Hegan with a lovely run down that left-hand side, coming up from left back, but out it went for a corner kick to West Brom at the open end.
Yeah, brilliant play by John Swift. He was the instigator of all that. Got on the ball, little give him goals just to work his runner in behind Hegan. It's a lovely slide rule pass to find him.
So Swift will have the corner kick at the open end away to our left-hand side. Right-footed in-swinger from him. Ajayi's gone deep to the far post with Madger. In it goes to the near post, and it's cleared away to the edge of the box, driven back in by Racic, and the shot was very well wide. He snatched at it, and out it went for a goal kick. So Eboué will now come on for Oxford United, and he's coming on for Dembele, who's put a shift in.
Yeah, it's been good.
New club this afternoon.
He's been good, to be fair. Siriki Dembele. I don't know if he's tired a little bit, maybe, but I don't think we're bringing him off because of his performance. I think he's been excellent today.
Meantime, Reading have a 4th against Crawley. Tell you what, Robbie, if you didn't know what a difficult job he'd inherited at Crawley, he does now. 4-1 down at Reading. Sam Smith has got the 4th for the Royals this afternoon, who are much more solid now, it seems, Reading these days, after a really turbulent spell. Starting the day in 17th, they'll make a few strides up the League One table with this result. So we've got a quarter of an hour to go, and it's 1-0 still to West Bromwich Albion. Eboué, first thing he tried to do was play a ball in from the right. He's gone right, and Tyler Goodrum's gone out to the left-hand side, and
That's
then Sibley with a bad challenge on this near touchline. And the referee wants a word with Louis Sibley. Chopping challenge on this near touchline. Is it Mowat that he's brought down?
Yeah.
Who's slowly picking himself off the deck, and the referee is actually having a word with Kyle Bartley, the Albion skipper, and then he will have a word with Louis Sibley, who's walked away from the incident for the moment, but he's not getting away with this scot-free.
Yeah, it is a yellow, but that's it. I mean, it's a bad challenge. I mean, there's no need to get involved, Bartley, to be honest with you.
And to be fair to Mowat, he's not made a meal of the challenge. He's back on his feet.
Yeah,
bet you taught him that as well, didn't you?
He lived by the sword.
You never wanted to show anyone you were hurt, did you, when you got
mate.
challenged? Give him a reducer later on, right?
Yeah.
Ball's back with Jamie Cumming. Oxford United still trailing by a 1-0. Their unbeaten record here at the Kazam in danger. West Brom, as it stands, going top of the Championship table for a couple of hours at least. Cardiff 4, Plymouth 0. Callum Robinson, remember that's 10-man Plymouth. Sissoko sent off in the first half. West Brom have the ball right-hand side. Ball played into the box, and Darnell Furlong actually made it more tricky for Josh Madger to get onto the loose ball. The ball got stuck under his feet, Darnell Furlong, and didn't make its way through to Madger, who was unmarked in front of goal.
I tell you what, they've wasted 2 or 3 really good chances here, West Brom. You know, and while it's 1-0.
Well, down the right-hand side, Racic fires the ball in straight into the arms of Cummings. Funnily enough, we heard exactly that, didn't we? Tony Bomber Brown, who follows West Bromwich Albion up and down the country, was telling us beforehand that that's exactly symptomatic of what Albion's problems have been. Lots of chances, don't take enough. Scarlett with a cross from the Oxford right. Bartley sliding in, deflects it away from danger. Lots of live sport to come today on Talksport 2. Fulham against Villa coming up at 3 o'clock as John Swift has gone down in a 50-50 challenge with Elliot Moore. So whilst he's getting treatment, gives me a chance to remind you that once Adam Bridge and Perry Groves have brought you Fulham against Villa at 3, we'll change the shape of the ball from round to oval, and a bit of rugby union for you. Gallagher Premiership action, Harlequins against Bath from 5 o'clock. Andrew McKenna, your commentator. And then boxing from the Copper Box Arena, the undercard of the Adam Azim O'Hara Davis super lightweight undercard. 7:30 on Talksport 2, and then Talksport picks up the coverage from 9 o'clock. And then Sunday, well, you got day 5 of India New Zealand. You heard the last knockings of day 4 before you came to us here at the Kazam Stadium, with India trying to get a lead, second innings lead over New Zealand to defend. That's from 4:45 in the morning. Set your alarm, Neil, for day 5. Well, you've got to feed the dogs, haven't you?
I'll be up then.
Yeah. Then NFL London Series at Wembley Stadium from 1:30 live on Talksport 2. Patriots at the Jaguars is the game there. And we'll also bring you later on Sunday from the NFL Chiefs at the 49ers from 9:30. And then in the wee small hours of Monday morning, the Jets at the Steelers. Monday night game night, incidentally, on Talksport from the Premier League. 7 o'clock, Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace. Adrian Durham, Sam Matterface and Danny Murphy, your regular Monday night team for our exclusive commentary. Then, back underway, Swift is okay. You've missed none of the action whilst I've been reminding you what's coming up. 12 minutes of normal time to go. Oxford 0, West Brom 1. Eboué down this near right-hand side, tucks the ball back to the halfway line and more. Now Kieran Brown rolls it out to Goodrum out on the left-hand side. He scampers infield. Diagonal ball looking for Eboué. Brilliant header by Torbjorn Hegem to get it away from danger. Great covering from the left-back, because that ball looks certain to land on the chest of Malcolm Eboué to give him a chance to draw Oxford level. Brilliant defending.
Yeah, and he needed to do it. I mean, it's a great ball in, good spot, great run. I mean, it's a full diving header, to be fair, defend it.
Here's Eboué again. Right-hand side for Oxford, steps inside, left-footed ball swelling to the far post. Goodrum heads it back across the face of goal. Palmer can't hold on to it, and the whistle's gone for a push on Alex Palmer before any Oxford player like Scarlett or Sibley could get a piece of it. And
do you know what?
A few more boos around the stadium. Neil Redfern's not convinced.
I'm not sure that's a foul, you know. Was there the goes back across goal and he's going back towards his line. His momentum, he catches it and drops it as if he doesn't want to fall over the line with the ball. And then he makes out he's got injured.
Neil Redfern not happy, Your Honour. Yeah, well, you swore on the Rothmans yearbook before you started your commentary. You've got to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That's true.
Here on Talksport 2 at the Kazam Stadium. Still a bright, sunny, crisp autumn afternoon. Oxford United have got just over 10 minutes to try and rescue something here. Only a goal down, though. Goodrum lays it back to Nelson just by the centre circle. Kioso is waiting, receives it. Another double change coming up for West Bromwich Albion in a minute. Mikey Johnston and Jason Malumbi going to be on sooner rather than later once the ball next goes out of play. Meantime, Brown has it for Oxford. Cardiff 5, Plymouth 0. Chris Willock with the 5th. I've deliberately not called them Wayne Rooney's Plymouth all afternoon, but
you've been itching to.
I have. And win-loss, win-loss, win-loss is the sequence for Plymouth with the way things are going. Very erratic. Now here come West Brom down the right-hand side. Jed Wallace, great pace, level with the edge of the area, tried to pull it back for Madger. Right idea, but just the heel of an Oxford defender took it away from the West Brom number 9. And now Eboué up to the halfway line. Good ball in field for Dane Scarlett, who holds it up, needs an option, and just rolls it back into his own half for Peter Kioso. Still Malumbi and Johnston wait for their opportunity to be introduced for West Bromwich Albion. Meantime, Oxford have it over on the far side with Tyler Goodrum. El Mizuni gives it back to the diminutive Goodrum. Early ball into the box, looking for Scarlett, but that's a very comfortable catch for Alex Palmer on this occasion. Sailed over Scarlett's head and through to the West Brom keeper. Still 1-0 to the Baggies, 9 to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a poor ball, to be fair. He's always favourite for that, is Alex Palmer. I need to get better ball in and more yellow shirts in the box, to be honest with you.
Bartley gives it back to Palmer, and then a neat ball as West Brom play their way out of their own defensive third through Mowat, and then Hegem, who plays a 1-2 with Swift. Swift has it again, right next to the touchline where Johnston and Malumbi are waiting to come on. Another 1-2, this time between Swift and Madger. And now Swift releases Grant down the left-hand side of the area. Big challenge from Peter Kioso to force the shot to be driven well wide in the end by Grant. It's at the third or fourth time that we've seen good defending from Peter Kioso in his right-back position. And now the changes are being made by West Bromwich Albion, and Josh Madger, it's the third game without a goal for him, but not without the effort. But he's coming off as one of the changes. Yeah. And the other change is Uros Racic. He's coming off to allow Malumbi to come on.
Yeah, I think he's looked quite bright, to be fair, Josh Madger. He's not had much support neither. You know, played that lone striker role quite well. It's been easier for him since John Swift's come on. He's made a massive difference.
So we'll see who plays through the middle for West Brom, because Mikey Johnston was the man playing out on the left-hand side of the 3 in the previous game, but that's Karlan Grant's spot. So Johnston's gone out to the right. So effectively now West Brom are playing with 2 false 9s, Neil Redfern. They've got Swift and Wallace as the furthest players forward in their formation.
Yeah.
What we have, we hold.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the ball goes past that early press, I think they'll drop back into a block, to be honest with you.
Oxford find themselves a goal behind at home, and they've got 6.5 minutes left to do something about it. Kioso with a throw just over the halfway line. West Brom going top of the table as things stand. Fulham against Aston Villa coming up straight after this commentary. Stay on this frequency and you'll be with Faye Carruthers, Adam Bridge and Perry Groves at Craven Cottage for the Cottagers against the Villains. Here is Elliot Moore, the Oxford captain, inside his own half. Square ball across to Kieran Brown in the sunlit area of the pitch. The stand that we're sat in, the south stand, the overhang of that is keeping at least half the pitch in shade. Eboué down the right hand side, trying to latch onto a diagonal ball, but it was well defended in the end by Torbjorn Hegem, and West Brom have themselves a goal kick. And I don't think Alex Palmer's had a save to make.
No.
But then neither really is Jamie Cumming at the other end, other than picking the ball out the net from Karlan Grant's rip snorter of a opener.
No, you're right, mate. I just think that, to be fair to West Brom, I mean, they're so well organised at the back. They carry so much experience. You know, Jaya and Bartley. You know, Hegem's been excellent at left back, made some really good decisions. It's been a real good rearguard action from West Brom.
West Ham down to 10 men. Mohamed Kudus, who scored early on for the Hammers, has been red carded. So Tottenham 4-1 up, and now West Ham a man down. Kudus red carded at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's our Talksport commentary right now. Much more jeopardy in this commentary because Oxford trying to get themselves level. Cross from Eboué, just drops away from Goodrum, volleys it towards goal. It's cleared away by West Brom, but straight onto the chest of Nelson, and he finds El Mizuni level with the edge of the penalty area. Goodrum strokes it out to Brown, left-hand corner of the box. First time cross deep to the far post. Hegem heads it half clear. Swift completes the clearance up to halfway. Oxford trying to hem West Bromwich Albion in here.
Yeah, good little bit of play there from Oxford. Got balls in the box really well and got on the second phase as well.
That's Neil Redfern, you can hear alongside me, Ian Danter at the Kazam Stadium. Ebube down the right hand side, gets in on his left, teases the ball into the box, up goes Scarlett, drops to the far post. It's not back by Goodrum to Kieran Brown, left hand corner of the box. Goodrum again, lays it back to Will Volks. Volks tries a drive and it's blocked by an Albion backside, and out of play for an Oxford United corner away to our right. 1-0 West Brom.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum, exactly what the crowd were asking for. It's good play by Oxford, keeping the ball alive. Eventually drops to Volks. It's a good strike, but it deflects wide for a corner.
Come on, you yellows, is the chant from around the Kazam Stadium. Volks with the corner, right-footed outswinger to the far post. It's headed back across the 6-yard line, and West Brom get it clear. Alex Palmer was nowhere to be seen when that corner came in. Ebue down the right-hand side of the box for Oxford. Got 2 West Brom players for company, and one of them, Carlan Grant, wins it back. And then the ball goes out of play, and that'll be an Oxford United throw because it came off Grant last of all. Sibley, as we tick round towards 3 minutes to go plus added time. West Brom going top of the Championship if they can hang on to this 1-0 scoreline in Oxfordshire. But here come the yellows again. It's Ebue down the right hand side, Kiyoso with him, making an overlapping run, trying to get him behind, but the ball dinked over the top by Ebue's hit too hard. That's a goal kick to West Brom. 1-0 to the Baggies.
Yeah, right idea from Kiyoso, Peter Kiyoso. He's trying to make that overlapping run for his teammate and BOA, but the ball over the top's just a little bit heavy. But they've been much better in these final 10-15 minutes, Oxford. A little bit of urgency. I think the penny's dropped.
But they're still behind. Palmer for West Brom clears, very low and flat clearance, but it's won back on halfway by Nelson. But the ball turned in field by Goodrum's, snaffled up by Alex Mowat. West Brom have it with Carlan Grant hugging this near touchline. Gets held up midway point of the half and then wins a throw. Good play by Carlan Grant, and it's his goal that still separates the sides here as we tick round towards 88 minutes play at the Kazam Stadium. We'll be straight off to Craven Cottage after this commentary for all the build-up, and then full exclusive commentary of Fulham against Villa at 3 p.m. from the Premier League. And Adam will keep you in touch with goals from all around the country. Lots going on at 3 o'clock today in both the Premier League and the EFL. Villa can go 4th if they win at Fulham. You've got Manchester United, Brentford, Newcastle, Brighton, Ipswich, Everton and Southampton, Leicester. Foul against Tyler Goodrum, pushing on Darnell Furlong. In the Championship today, 3rd place Burnley can go back above West Brom if West Brom hang on to this win. They're travelling to Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich are at Stoke. Norwich just outside the top 6. 2 of the bottom 3 in the Championship meet at the Loft. QPR against Portsmouth. In League 1 today, leaders Birmingham are at Lincoln, 7 unbeaten in the league under Michael Skubala. Wrexham in 2nd are at Rotherham. Mansfield, who are brilliant. What a run they've had since coming up under Nigel Clough. They're welcoming Stevenage to the 1 call this afternoon. They're in 3rd, Mansfield. 8 against 6th. That'll be a good game at the Valley. Charlton against Stockport. Burton and Cambridge both looking for their first wins of the season. Brewers are at Bolton. The U's are at home to Wigan. Meanwhile, Albion back in possession down the right-hand side of the area with Darnell Furlong. Cuts it back into the area, but they just couldn't find a way through there. It was an attempt by Mikey Johnston to wriggle through a couple of challenges, but Oxford got it up to halfway. 30 seconds of normal time to play. Remains to be seen how much more we're going to have added on here by Lee Doughty. Ben Nelson, Oxford centre-half, works it back to his goalkeeper.
They just need the ball back, Oxford. I know it sounds an obvious thing to say, but they've done really well. They've managed the game for the last 2 or 3 minutes well. West Brom just kept possession, kept moving the ball, making the Oxford team move, making them work. It's been a professional performance so far from West Brom.
Carlos Corberán on his haunches, Andre Villas-Boas style down beneath us. 5 minutes of minimum added time. That's what we're into now on Talksport 2. Can Oxford find an equaliser? Ebue down the right-hand side. Thought he'd want a throw of Hegem, but the assistant on this near side disagreed. Nigel Lugg, the assistant. So 11,453, that's pretty consistent with what attendances have been at the Kazam. Here at home it's always been around the 11,000 mark, with about 1,500 having travelled down the M40 from the Black Country. Nelson gets it back to his goalkeeper Cumming. We've already played pretty much a minute of that 5 minimum. Elliot Moore's been given the man of the match award by the sponsors. Offside flag up against Ebuwe as he tried to collect the ball on halfway. He switched wings now actually with Goodrum. Ebuwe's gone out to the left wing and Goodrum back out to the right wing where he was stationed at the start of the game.
It's lazy play though from Ebuwe. He's got to get himself back on side. There's only one place that ball can go when Craig Brown pricks it up. He's got to slide it down the line and he's got to get himself on side. Gives West Brom a free kick, and when it gives them a chance to run the clock down.
Short free kick taken by Semi Ajayi. Rolls it back to his keeper Palmer. Stood just outside his 18-yard box. Back for Ajayi, hurried into a pass back to his keeper by Goodrum that time, and then Palmer similarly hurried into the clearance. Kept in play by Kieran Brown. Down the left-hand side, and Ajayi heads it out of play. That's messy from West Brom.
Yeah,
he's given Oxford a throw.
There's been some moments in it, Dan, that have not been, you're looking for a little bit more for a team that's vying for the top 6. But
vying for top spot right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's giving Oxford a chance.
So a long throw's going to come in for Oxford from the left-hand side. Hurled into the near post. Flicked on, and Scarlett! It's 1-1! Dane Scarlett scores his first Oxford United goal. The long throw pays dividends for Oxford. Flicked on at the near post, guided home by a cushion header from Dane Scarlett at the far post. And wouldn't you just know it, Oxford United are not to be beaten so far this season at the Kazam. West Brom's chances of going top are blown by Dane Scarlett. It's Oxford 1, West Brom 1.
Well, do you know what? Dane Scarlett has looked such a handful since he's come on. He's given them that little bit of energy. But going back to West Brom, I mean, it's a sloppy bit of play from them. Give the ball away for the throw-in. You know that Will Vaux has got a monster of a throw. It's coming into the box. And what does it do? It ends up in the back of West Brom's net. Unbelievable.
But here come West Brom with Hegham down the left-hand side. Early cross into the box, and the flip from Wallace gets away and goes out of play for a throw. 2 minutes of minimum stoppage time to play. It's 1-1 on Talksport 2. We say it so many times when we're doing our commentaries here in the EFL. It's not over till it's over. And when you've only got a 1-goal lead at this level, it only takes one moment, one switch off, one set piece, one improvised bit of skill to see all your good work undone. And that's exactly what's happened to West Brom here this afternoon.
Well, you're spot on, Dance, to be honest with you. And I just think they'll be kicking themselves, West Brom. I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity. They haven't really shown any signs of life, Oxford, up until this point. Subs have made a difference, that's true. But you've got to be thorough, and they haven't been.
Luton 3, Watford 0. Jacob Brown in stoppage time seals the points for Luton. West Brom trying to win the ball back, and there's a pull on the shirt of Jason Malumbi and a yellow card for Ebuwe. There's still a minute of minimum stoppage time left, and West Brom have now got, you can see the urgency in West Brom bodies. Suddenly they realise what's got away from them, and they've got a minute to try and get their noses back in front.
But I'm just thinking back to all them chances now that they had at 1-0, when the ball's flashed across the box and they've missed it shots and in good positions, turned down chances when they could have shot. It's backfired for them.
Free kick for West Brom, floated into the area. Up goes Oxford keeper Cumming, claims it confidently, and there's few Oxford players flying downfield wanting the ball to be released early, but Jamie Cumming says, no, come on lads, let's not be silly. It's 1-1.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Des Buckingham now. He's just giving him the calm it down a little bit sign to his goalkeeper. I mean, this is a point out of nothing, to be honest with you, because I couldn't see a goal coming for Oxford.
Ball downfield straight through to Alex Palmer, dealing in seconds now here on Talksport 2 at the Kazam. Preston have beaten Coventry, Cardiff have beaten Plymouth, Accrington have beaten Barrow. elsewhere in the lunchtime kickoffs. Ball might break in for John Swift. There goes the full-time whistle. Oxford have rescued a point late on here against West Bromwich Albion, who blow the chance to go top of the championship table for a couple of hours at least. They led so long in this game through Carlan Grant's rip snorter of a right-footed shot in the first half on the half hour. Low daisy cutter that went in off a post. Oxford hadn't troubled Alex Palmer in the West Bromwich Albion goal very much, but as we ticked into added time, a long throw from Will Volks flicks on at the near post, headed home at the far post for his first Oxford United goal by Tottenham loanee Dane Scarlett to rescue a point for Des Buckingham and keep their unbeaten record at the Kazam at the start of the season. But Carlos Corberan will be furious that his team have let points slip once again. That's 4 without a win for West Brom as they try and get themselves back amongst the promotion pack at the top of the table. In the end, the points have to be shared, and it's finished here on Talksport 2. Oxford United 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Wow, we weren't expecting that, as you said there, Neil Redfern. A bit of a smash and grab in the end in terms of a point, and that unbeaten record for Oxford United stays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from West Brom's point of view, it's almost like there was a malaise. They were always drifting over the line to try and get the 3 points, and you know, there's a little bit of urgency. Started with a corner of a shot from Will Volks, and then give a throwing away from some sloppy play by West Brom. And you know Will Volks has got a long throw. That ball's coming in your 6-yard box, and it's exactly what happens. It's a great little touch from Dane Scarlett. I'm pleased for the youngster because he's worked his socks off since he's come off the bench and he's earned his goal. But unbelievable scoreline. They'll be kicking themselves, West Brom.
Yeah, they absolutely will be. Missing the chance to go top of the table and handing a little bit of momentum perhaps to some of their rivals.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, I mean, they were staring at 3 points, to be honest with you, West Brom, and it's poor game management, you have to say. There's a real sloppy bit of play that led to the throw-in that came in for the goal. You know, Sami Ajayi put under pressure with a ball that it should have been, you know, up the pitch rather than play back to him to put him there, and he sliced it out of play. And as soon as he did that, you could almost sense the chance coming for Oxford. But the Oxford faithful stayed with them, to be fair. The 11,000 or whatever it was stayed with them right to the end, and they rewarded them with a great goal.
Yep, they certainly were. Thoroughly enjoyed the entertaining afternoon. It was a fun game, end to end. Thank you for joining us. As always, Neil Redfern. Today, Ian Danter, if you're still listening, we're going to miss you here. I've not been that surprised by the fact you've decided not to commentate on Aston Villa here at Craven Cottage. He's gone. He's not going to say anything. Brilliant stuff from Danson, from Neil Redfern there. So West Brom missed the chance to go top of the table after conceding in added time. Dane Scarlett securing a point for Oxford United and making sure they maintain their unbeaten home record. Elsewhere, Cardiff pulled themselves off the bottom of the table, but they do stay in the relegation places despite a 5-0 win over 10-man Plymouth. Coventry level on points with Cardiff, only above the relegation places on goal difference after a 1-0 defeat to Preston. Still not finished at Kenilworth Road, but I think it's safe to say that Luton Town have secured all 3 points against M1 rivals Watford. They're currently 3 goals to the good in the 98th minute. Brilliant win for the Hatters. In League One, Wycombe moving to third, beating 10-man Peterborough by 3 goals to 1. Crawley stay in the relegation places after a 4-1 defeat to Reading. In League 2, Accrington are out of the relegation spots after a 1-0 win over Barrow, who missed the opportunity to go top of the table. Must be something in the water today. And in the Barclays Women's Super League, Manchester United have moved top of the table after a 1-1 draw with Brighton, who are second ahead of tomorrow's games, which you'll hear updates of during the Sunday session on Talksport with Sam Matterface.